You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Season. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna listen, dream, gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing the song, gonna break it down, gonna rock this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready for one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Season. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Good
Welcome to the
evening,
show.
everyone.
What's going on, man? Welcome to the show, PlayStation Collectors Podcast, Season 3, Episode 41, which is just absolutely insane. I'm your host, Joe Red. And today, joining us, we have returning to the show, Mr. D Street. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Got a couple cool things. I went to it lately and upgraded the setup, as you may have seen with a completely different view that you normally would
Mhm.
see from me. But that's due that recently I upgraded my PC monitor to a Samsung Odyssey G9 OLED 49-inch
Ooh,
ultra wide.
nice. Badass, man.
Still got the big box like right over there, just in case like something comes up, because this literally came in like 2 days ago, roundabout
Mhm.
2 or 3 days ago, and loving it so far. And not only is it going to be a nice upgrade to have more immersion for gaming, for PC games that do support ultra wide, or whenever I mod older games to support this big aspect ratio. But it's great for productivity as well. So it should work out well for stuff that I do for the my channel in the future.
That's sick, man. Congratulations. Yeah, that's I was talking about this before the show, but I just ordered a new PC too, so I've been doing a little monitor research as well. And the OLED realm jumps up quite a bit in price once you start going into OLED. You're
Oh, yeah.
immediately looking at like $700-800, I feel like, for something decent. So
Yeah, even for like a 42-inch LG TV that is OLED, probably the cheapest you'll find at like 700 to 800 if there is a sale on it. But
Mhm.
with this being my first OLED massive panel that's not a cell phone, I don't regret it at all. Even though I got like a really sick deal when I bought my G9, like after like estimated of all I'm saving, I got this monitor for, let's say, like between 70 to 80% off of what you would
Nice.
currently buy it on Amazon. OLED is so worth it. And burn-in, like, you really got to try to cause burn-in for your OLED panels, really. If you only play a single game, your damn Overwatches and Warzones, don't buy an OLED, because you're going to destroy it in a few months.
That's fair. And you just like have to set things smart, like have your timers, power saving features set up correctly to shut off. So if you are someone who intends to like pass out in front of the TV, that's the issue. You don't want anything just sitting there burning in overnight for hours and hours and hours. So just need to make sure it shuts off. But yeah, I got the LG OLED 65-inch TV for the living room like a while ago, and oh man, definitely worth every penny. It is
Definitely.
absolutely good. Yeah. So I think I talked about this recently too. Like when the PS5 came out, I couldn't get one like everybody else. Just couldn't get the damn thing. And I was getting frustrated because it wasn't like I wasn't trying. I was trying, and it was just a huge pain in the ass. So after a while, I was just like, you know what? I'm not. This is stupid. So instead of me doing this, I'm just gonna get a nice TV for now, save up, buy that, pay that off, and then revisit the PS5. And that's what I did. And oh man, I'm so glad I did it that way, because when I finally did get it, I got Demon Souls, Ratchet and Clank, and I think Tales of Arise were like the first 3 games I played, and all 3 of them just blew me away on that
Definitely
TV.
good
They look
showcases for an OLED panel.
amazing. Yeah, dude, incredible. Um,
I don't know
except
if you
even still
played a
made me cry.
Returnal, but that would be a great showcase for like
Mhm.
the high contrast ratios for OLEDs. I can't wait to play that on this monitor. Matter of fact,
Yeah, so that would be like I definitely did. That was probably like I don't know my second or third round of games I played on it or something like that. That was definitely one
Mhm.
of the first. So yeah, as far as like games that like made me want to buy a PS5, Returnal was way high up on that list. Like I was dying to play that game. It looks so good. And
It would have made
I
me buy a PS5 when it came
mm,
out too, but thankfully I had connections at GameStop that I managed to get a PS5 on launch day.
yeah, I just didn't. It was one of those things where I just didn't. I totally underestimated the issue. Like I figured it would be new, it would be sold out. It might be a pain to get one, but I had no idea it was going to be like the shortage. Obviously, I couldn't predict what was going to happen with everything, but yeah, it was tough, man. Frustrating experience, but I didn't pay a penny over scalper price. I got my PS5 for regular price, and I didn't.
Yeah, it's
I
a
wouldn't.
product that is going
Mm-mm.
to forever be in stock for like, let's say 10 years. So you have a lot of time to eventually get one. Patience,
Yeah,
gents. You'll get one.
I think that's the most crucial skill when it comes to collecting is you have to be patient. Like sometimes the deal's just it's not right in the moment. And like for me, like I don't find it particularly fun just buying something at full retail price if I see it. Like that doesn't really do it for me as much as like I like either finding a deal or finding it like a little cheaper, or finding it in the wild, or doing a trade for like getting rid of something. Not that I think stinks or not, I don't want in my collection, but just trading something that I'm maybe not as excited about in my collection for something I'm really excited about. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Like $70 games, I'm so not excited to get to hop on that day one these days. The only one that probably would be the one I would like to jump into would probably be MGS3 Delta and
Hmm.
Silent Hill 2 remake when that comes out. But even then, I'm still just scouring around to get it for like $5, $10 off roundabout. I mean, the Steam version of
Mhm.
SH2, I'm definitely going to get a key elsewhere to get it cheaper than usual.
Absolutely. Um, so speaking of which, I heard that there were rumors there were going to be some Metal Gear Solid announcements in the state of play, but that didn't happen, huh?
That
What's
did
that
not
about?
happen, no.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't done like a Metal Gear transmission as they have done 2 times with Silent Hill now. Because if you ask me, both of those, franchises are equal in terms to well, maybe more so. Metal Gear has a bigger fan base, that is very loyal and almost
Mm.
loves, shouldn't say every single entry, but a lot of them, they love a lot and have so much passion for them.
I
Maybe
think
we'll
if
soon see it, but we'll have to wait and see.
Hideo Kojima like started a church on an island, like that island would be full if he recruited. Like he
Oh,
would
yeah.
like if he wanted to start like some sort of cult or something, I think he would have no problem. Like no
Oh,
issues.
yeah.
Everyone loves that guy. It's so funny. I don't know. He's one of the, he. I feel like it. What makes me funny is like I feel like he's what Neil Druckmann wishes he was. Like he wants to be like the
Oh,
cinematic
yeah.
movie director who makes games or whatever. But like
Mhm.
everyone's always like, yeah, whatever. But Hideo was just like I worships him because I don't know. I don't know. He was the pioneer. He was cutting edge, so I guess he gets all the credit. I don't know. I don't know
What
what the difference
was
is.
that one, uh, like, game, in quotations, that came, what that was, like, revealed, in, like, 2021, where it made it seem like it was going to be the next Silent Hill, but it turned out it's some, like, complete scam that, these guys tried to act like they were Hideo Kojima levels of marketing and just completely failed. Oh, wait, Abandoned, I think that's what it was called. That
That's a good
you
name
can
for
still,
it.
like, download it on your PS5, which is
Mhm.
just, like, a 40 gig, download of just a trailer.
Dear Lord.
It's still in my library. I can find it on my system right now, but and if you download it, it's still just like the one trailer that they released it with, and they have like 2 or 3 other things that will like reveal more soon type stuff. And here we are, 3 years later, like
Mm.
nothing has come out about it. And the interviews people have done with like the lead creator of it, he like avoids every single question almost. It's
Mhm.
embarrassing.
Yeah, I wish I could say that's like an uncommon thing these days, but I feel like that's really common in the industry. There's a lot of like games that are straight up scams that just never come to fruition, or let alone maybe consoles, for example. There's quite a few projects in the Kickstarter world and the crowdfund world that just don't happen. And also just the development times on games are absurd. Like that game Star Citizen has been in alpha for like a decade or something. It's like, okay, like and
Don't
after,
talk about Beyond Good and Evil 2 though.
dude, that's what Metroid Prime 4 is another one, like announced and shown off, and it just disappeared. Yeah, but what did happen to Beyond a Good Evil 2? No joke. They showed these amazing trailers of this incredible footage. It looked sick. Like the graphics were absolutely like top notch. And then poof, nothing. You don't hear a word about it ever again. It's very
The
weird.
last time I heard about Good and Evil 2 was an article saying that the game has now broke the record of the game that has been in development the longest. It somehow beat Duke Nukem Forever by more than 15 years of development.
Dear Lord.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then it'll be funny is it'll finally come out and it'll be like, it's a live service game. Buy the battle pass, because that's pretty much all we're getting these days. So
Wouldn't be surprised from Ubisoft.
oh, not at all. Like literally, it'll be just like all their other games. There'll be 4 versions of it. There'll be a $70 version, 100, 120, 150, the subscription fee, the whole 9 yards. And then the other thing too that really bums me out is that this new trend of paying more for a digital art book and a digital soundtrack and a digital this. And I'm just like, what?
48-hour early access. So
this?
the launch day is really like this day if you pay up for it.
Why would I want to pay for a digital art? Like, couldn't I just Google image search the damn game?
Yeah, I'll
What?
just search up the same exact art and just download it for free through Chrome or whatever browser I'm using.
I just don't.
It's dumb.
I feel like people just misunderstand why you pay for things and what ownership means. Like, why would you pay for something that you don't own, that you have free access to without paying for it? It's
Mhm.
just it's illogical. So I don't know. Not that it annoys me that they do that, but I prefer just like, I'm a simple man. Like, just charge me an extra $20. It put an actual art book in there and a soundtrack. That's it. I don't need anything else from a special edition, unless, if you want to go crazy and put statues and stuff like that, I'm cool with that. Like, I do like that stuff because, actually, I've been thinking about doing an episode on just statues, but I don't own any, so I need to recruit. I know you have quite a few, so that you were one of the reasons that I had this thought. But I've had other guests too. But yeah, I think that would be an interesting episode just to talk about some of the collectible statues and which ones are just out of this world expensive, and just to show them off because they are really cool.
Yeah, even say like art you would probably get from companies like Displayed, Redbutton, of artists that have done their own work but have been inspired by like said IP, and they make unique art. That'd be cool to show off as well. Like I have a few Final Fantasy VII related ones that I got from Redbutton. They were just like basic posters, but the art that was on them, like my favorite was Genova when you would first see her when Sephiroth rips that thing off. That's like the most like the coolest and creepiest like full like body image of Genova in that tube that I ever seen. I was really glad that I got that I have to get it framed one of these days.
That's sick. Yeah, I do like some. I don't like. I've talked this before too, but yeah, as time goes on, the more and more I'm into collecting, the more and more I'm into just like things other than games that are just gaming related are just
Yeah,
becoming more and more fascinating to me. So posters and statues and
vi-
little
vinyls
collectibles
for
and
me.
yeah, so that's a whole other animal that I'm afraid to go down that path
It's
because
expensive.
it's very expensive. They're pretty large too, but I do love them because you get the beautiful artwork and also the actual vinyls these days that they press, like the actual vinyls are so cool, like different colors and patterns. And I mean, they look amazing. Like that alone is worth it to me. They're just so cool looking. So,
Yeah, and what also adds more to the value of them is just you're going out of your way to do all of this compared to if I just looked it up on YouTube for like the Silent
mhm,
Hill 1 soundtrack. The idea is like you went to like your shelf to pick out this massive thing right here.
mhm,
You open it up, it also has more unique artwork inside. It may have like lyrics listed out on them, and then you take out this massive disc that probably has unique art on it as well. Like I think that Silent Hill 1 is like all white on the actual LP to like represent the fog itself.
that's cool.
So they add like a lot of personality to like really like make it seem like an official product from said IP.
Mhm.
So there's a lot more into it. It that's more than just listening to the music with vinyl that makes it more worth the price.
Oh yeah, and I bet a lot of them, you're running into the same issue with games as like if you don't open them right away, they end up being worth so much money you don't even want to open them. You're like, I will actually just Google this and listen to it.
Oh yeah.
Is it just becomes so much money, but then you don't get the quality of the sound and everything like that. So I get that. So yeah, I'm a CD man myself. So I
I have a few
started.
CDs too.
Well, I'm an old man, so like I started buying music when CDs was the custom at the time. We used to buy CDs at the old Newbury comic shop, and so I just ended up with this massive heavy metal collection of metal CDs from like 1995 to 2004, basically. And it's funny, like I still enjoy buying metal CDs in that time frame. I don't really buy any new stuff. Like I don't even know if most bands even release CDs these days, but I still like hunting down old CDs. And I also like DVDs from live performances. I think those are really fun to collect. So
Yeah,
like
those would be neat.
I have like Cannibal Corpse ones and Opeth ones and Napalm Death stuff and like from the 90s and the 2000s. I just like picking stuff up like
Well,
that.
did you know that cassette tapes have been making a comeback? That even some artists today
Mhm,
they try to go out of their way to have actual cassette releases of their
mhm.
latest album. So
I think
all
that's
this
sweet.
stuff that's completely antiquated
Mhm,
just slowly has like a little comeback underneath that. When you look into the community, oh my god, they are super passionate about this stuff that should be completely irrelevant, but it's not.
mhm,
I mean, hell, you can't see it because it's super dark, but my Super Nintendo Mini is actually sitting on top a VHS and DVD combo unit, and there's like a whole
mhm,
bin of VHS tapes that I got when I went to go clear things out of my grandmother's house, who was recently put into a retirement home. So don't
mhm.
mind me; I will take all of this stuff here because, like, it's cool to revisit some of that stuff, but I don't see myself spending a lot of money on VHS stuff at all.
No, so that it's so VH collecting is cool, but again, it's they're kind of large. They take up
They are kind of
space.
large, yeah.
Especially, if you want to collect like Titanic, it's like two VHSs. The Braveheart double things. Like I don't back in the day, um some movies if they were too big, they came on two VHS cassettes and like I don't know about like I can say for a fact that like I never watched the second Braveheart tape because it was depressing. I only watched the first tape. I only wanted to watch the first part where he just kicked everybody's asses. I didn't want to watch the second part where, it doesn't go well for him. So,
The only VHS tape I want to get is Alien and Aliens, because that feels like a very authentic, unique experience.
mhm,
And the most expensive VHS tape I'll buy is when I get the Fire Emblem Thracia Deluxe Edition. That's exclusive to Japan. I mean,
Never heard of it.
Thracia 776, aka Fire Emblem 5, was
Mhm.
the very last physical Super Famicom cart that released in January of 2000. Let that
God
date
dang.
sink in for stuff that was coming out. That's like of like 11 months before the PS2 came out, and here
Mhm.
Nintendo is releasing a like a big title for the Super Famicom. That's
Mm.
insane. So therefore, it is the worst selling game in that series, and a very, very rare cart that they also made a deluxe edition prior to like a normal release for it, because it originally was released in like the Nintendo Power booth carts, where you would take like this a writable Super Famicom cart, put it in these booths, and you can like pay to put a game on there, and that's how Thracia first came
Yep.
out.
I
That was
remember
really
that.
neat at the time and very
Mhm.
popular for Japan. Well, they also released like this deluxe edition of Thracia 776 that has like two plushies in it, a VHS tape, which is actually a documentary of the series at that point, which is really fascinating. And
Hmm.
someone in the FE community did do a full translation of that and voiced over it in English too. So thankfully, that is fully preserved online and for English speaking fans as well. But yeah, by the time I buy that, that will be the most expensive VHS tape I'll ever own.
How much does it go for?
I'm sure like $500.
Oh dear
500
lord.
$600.
Yeah, that's like I maybe we should get a VHS collector on here. You'd be shocked at how much some of those things are worth. The only ones that I really so I've thought about this before. Like I was thinking about picking up a couple smart CRTs. And I was thinking about picking up one that had like a VHS built in. Like that's the way I would go. I'd want to get like a TV with like it's just something like that. And
Mhm.
then there's a few things I would buy, but mostly I just really want the original Star Wars that's unedited. I would love to get that trilogy, the one that has none of the fancy
Wasn't it
updates. I don't want none of that.
wasn't it something with Jabba the Hutt that was completely changed in like a later version of Star Wars? I know nothing about it, but that's like the last thing I heard of like the original version on VHS from what I remember.
So they added an extra scene where there was a deleted scene in New Hope where Han Solo talks to Jabba the Hutt. And in the original scene, Jabba the Hutt is just like this big fat dude in a vest, kind of looks like Dom DeLuise walking around. And that version is out there, and that was the original deleted scene. And that's not in the original movie. It just was never included. But they added that scene into the updated version, and then they made it CG. They added CG Jabba the Hutt. And let me tell you, I feel like all the CG looks like it in those movies that they added. Like at the time, it was like, oh, that looks cool, but it did not age well at all. Same
And
thing with
the
the
small
prequels.
CRT TVs would have really
Oh,
like hide how bad the CG really looked for us back then. But nowadays, if you watch it on something like that, oh, you will see everything.
true, exactly. So I watched in the prequels, I watched in the second one there, Clone Wars or whatever. That whole scene at the end where they're in the arena fighting all of the monsters, those creatures or whatever. You know, they have the little crab dude, and I don't know what what I'm talking about. Those 3 months. It looks terrible. I think it looks so bad. I'm like,
Honestly,
oh,
I don't because I don't like Star Wars at all. But
I know.
since this like 3 pack of the original movies, whatever, was in the bin that I got, it's like
Mhm.
maybe I'll try it again. It'll be like the third or fourth time I try like watching these movies again to see if I care at all. But
Mhm.
now that it's a VHS version, let's see if I can appreciate the original experience, let's say.
I mean, I could see a lot of people saying they like a lot of the improvements that were added, and a lot of them are fine. But I just, you know, I think it would be they should offer the option to watch the originals, because that's what I just grew up watching. Like that's what I had on VHS taped off at HBO, wherever the hell I had it, because I didn't own the real one. Everything I owned was taped off of TV somehow or something.
Mhm.
So like that's just what I'm used to. That's what I remember seeing. Like I just would like that version to be preserved and at least be available. So anyway, that would be cool. So, but I don't want to get in, VHS. It just gets out of hand. My little brother at one point, he had like, God, thousands of them. It's funny. Like he went through the collecting thing like earlier than most people I know. He had all of our childhood games, and he built up a massive collection like years before it was popular. And he also had
Mhm.
a huge VHS collection, which I think he sold most of it. But yeah, so right now I'm just sticking to games, CDs, and DVDs, and let's go call it
Games
there for
will
now.
always be the main focus for me and stuff like CDs and vinyls. Like, if it's based on a game that I absolutely love, then that's
Mm,
when I would invest in stuff like that. Won't go crazy
mm,
into those fields, but they're still
mhm.
pretty neat for what they are, though.
Yeah, and I always I'm not against collector's editions. I don't buy them often because of space issues. It's like I try to
Mhm.
explain to people. I'm like, I don't dislike them. Like if I had a ton of space and money, I would have a freaking museum in my house with every cool collector's edition you can imagine. But unfortunately have to live within reasonable limitations and expectations of what I can afford and what I can display. So
You know, it's a space issue
Mhm.
when, like a year or two later, the same collector's edition like starts going on a big sale at like all of the sellers, and after that, they're never in stock again. Like
Mhm.
I recently saw the Horizon Forbidden West collector's edition just got like a big sale. I think it was on Best Buy's website because they're probably just
Mm.
sitting on a massive stack of them in boxes in their warehouses that they want to clear out because it's taking up
Mhm.
so much space and no one's buying them.
Yeah, that's they have the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom one on sale, marked down from $150 to like $39.99. So if anybody wants the SpongeBob statue, go get it now while you can. Um, so the topic of tonight's episode is the state of play review. Did you watch it? I hope, because that would be awkward if you didn't.
I did watch it when
Okay, good.
it first aired and was even watching it alongside my friend, just messaging him
Mm.
back and forth for what we were seeing. It was all right, honestly. Uh, The
Eh,
the first
mhm.
thing that they started with was terrible IMO.
Oh
What was
yeah,
it
let's
called
take a
again?
look at it. That
Yeah,
one
because
is
you have the
called
trailers up, don't you?
Concord. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was this game here, Concord, which I feel like everyone who watched this presentation had the same complaint about this. Was like this was way too long. This
It
whole
was too
intro,
long.
way
It
too long.
the actual like cinematic that we're watching here reminded me so much of what I hate of modern day Hollywood, which is millennial writing because of Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
I
100%.
despise it so much, this type of writing. That makes me hate almost all movies these days because God, we have to act like smartasses for all of our characters.
Yes, and we're quirky and unique and awkward. Like I don't know, it's just very yeah. The entire time I was watching this, my only thoughts were like, is this supposed to be entertaining?
Yeah. Is
Like,
this
because if
supposed to be a game or a Marvel ripoff or Avengers ripoff?
correct, and like, am I supposed to find these characters charming or appealing? I don't know them or who they are, anything about them or any of their backstory. So these interactions aren't particularly interesting. Like I don't care. Like no offense. This isn't a good way to. I don't know. This seems to me like a Tarantino scene or something. That's like they're just talking about stuff that has nothing to do with anything. I
Mhm.
don't know. It this did not do it for me at all. Like the whole cinematic, how long it took, and the actual game itself, just really disappointing when they actually showed
Yeah.
it was.
The
That was
whole
just how I
time
felt.
of
So
during the cinematic, I was just confused, like, what exactly type of game is this supposed to be from all of this? Is this
also, I
supposed
feel
to
like
be a Redfall thing, a of Overwatch thing? Which, spoiler warning, that's exactly what it is.
mhm.
Just confusing of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and then the character design. This looks like just so generic to me, like you said, for like the modern day millennial. Like this looks to be like just Overwatch and Apex Legends and Fortnite just all into one big mush thing. Like it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't look very unique at
No.
all to me. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not really into any type of live service games in general. Like there's few and far between that I show any interest in. Although I did enjoy Overwatch when it came out, for the record. I
Yeah,
liked
same for a
Overwatch.
little bit until I
Same
got
here.
bored with it fast.
Yeah, after a while it lost its charm or whatever. But yeah, I just I'm not the market for these games. So in I will just, start off by saying I would most likely not buy any games like this, regardless of how cool the trailer looked. So
Mhm.
I don't know, but this doesn't do it for me. So I don't know.
It's kind of sad that like before Overwatch 1 came out, it was like a breath of fresh air compared to all like like multiplayer games that we got where everything was
Mhm.
just COD ripoffs, realistic
Yep.
looking, and they all were just boring and died off really fast. So Overwatch at the time was a big breath of fresh air.
Mhm.
Nowadays, it's just something that's like, oh, cool, that's gonna die out fast,
Mhm.
and it's clearly a ripoff of that. And that thing it's ripping off, it has a fan base that really hates it.
So I can't speak for everybody else, but to me, I've had too many bad experience with a few live service games that I've played, and I don't like the way they see these games. Like they're constantly tweaking them and messing with them. You know what I mean? So even if you like a game the way it is, they're gonna ruin it at some point. Like they're gonna
Mhm.
ruin it. Like that just constantly happens. Whether it's they add new heroes that change the meta, or they nerf your hero because they think your hero is too strong, or they just nerf one ability on your hero that ruins it for you, or they, you know, change the way monetization works, or add this or do that. There's always messing with the game, and so I don't like that experience either because it's like you're either unhappy or you're happy, and you're gonna be unhappy. You're never gonna stay happy. It's like impossible.
No.
It's just they're gonna keep messing with it until you don't like it anymore. And then the new modern trend is they literally will just ruin everything
Jesus.
and they erase the old game. Like you can't
Mhm.
even play the original Overwatch anymore. It's gone. Like what the
No,
heck is
when the
that?
second game came out, they instantly killed the first game. Like, be damned if you paid money for the first
Crazy.
game, they took it away from you just like that. There were
It
so
just
many other issues Overwatch 2 had that, looking back on it, like, that was so funny for how much of a disaster it was, and thank God I want nothing to do with it. It was just so funny to just be on the back here and just watch the
Mhm.
chaos ensue. But,
Yeah.
yeah,
I-
that was the game. Did it look like a game, everyone? I don't think it looked like a game, honestly.
So that was just the cinematic trailer. At the end, they did show some gameplay, and the gameplay looked like a slower, more awkward version of Overwatch.
Overwatch, Valorant, it's those
Yeah.
types of, like, heroes, versus heroes shooter, and I
Mhm.
believe they said it was, like, 5v5, too, so that's already, like, less players than Overwatch, and I think
No,
Valorant.
Overwatch is 5v5 now. They've nerfed it.
Oh, it is? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they changed. It used to be 6v6, but now it's 5v5.
And at the end of that cinematic trailer, it did say that like pre-orders are available. So this is a game people have to pay for,
Mhm.
and I am predicting it right now. This game is going to have, let's say, max 5,000 people playing it on launch day, and
Mhm.
it'll be in the hundreds the next week.
I agree.
I am predicting that right now. It's going to be another
Mhm.
Lawbreakers and a Battleborn situation
It'll
here.
be like Battleborn, exactly what I was saying. Yeah, it'll be hype for a minute, and then the monetization will be ridiculous too. You just know it. So even though you pay for it, they'll probably still sell a battle pass, and they'll still have loot boxes, and they'll still have XP boosts or whatever. Like you just, it's like a huge problem nowadays is that games are designed around the monetization, not around the game. Like it's not like they build the game from the game up and then they decide to monetize it. They go, I like this money structure. Let's make a game that fits this. And so then you end up with this. It's just like no original thought. The artwork's not original. The ideas aren't. Nothing about this is original. This is like straight up like the people in a room sitting like, I believe this will make money. We ran tests and studies show that the kids really think this is super hip. And and it's like, okay, guys, good luck. I don't think it'll work.
Good. Best of luck to you guys. I'm curious to see how it turns out. I'm not nowhere, no way in hell am I getting this game on launch at all or ever, probably.
How about this one? Looky.
Oh, yeah,
Another one.
this-
It's pretty much the same thing. I mean, I'm not going in the order of presentation. I'll just go in the order I want. But hey, look,
yeah.
it's the same damn thing. It's the same idea. So it's the same exact thing. This is a game that was built around a monetization scheme, except for this one, they licensed characters. That was their ace in the hole.
Mhm.
So they were gonna make an I mean, look, it even looks like Overwatch maps, for God's sakes. It looks like I played that. Like that looks like a level in Overwatch.
Yeah,
Like,
or
I
even like
played that
Paladins
level.
too, if you have played that before.
Yeah. And so, okay. This is the same damn thing. It's just the same damn thing. So except, like I said, you get Marvel characters in this one, which is cool. Like I do want to kill people with Magneto. That sounds like a good time. But I don't know.
As I told my friend when we were watching this one, that Marvel as like a game that is like a Overwatch or like your hero shooters, like honestly, Marvel could have potential for something like this, honestly. But at the end of the trailer, my friend pointed out pretty much all the characters have like a very similar move set, so it's gonna be trash.
Yeah, so I've been told that this company who makes this game, they make mobile games.
Oh, great.
So I don't even know like if this is gonna be anything other than that. But yeah, it is what it is. Again, this doesn't really do it for me. But I
There was
suppose
your
if you like
Spider-Man
these types of
exclusive
games,
skin right there on PlayStation because Sony owns it. I keep forgetting.
yeah. So does that mean
More-
you get like something on Xbox? I'm assuming
Marvel
coming out.
Rivals, that was called, everyone.
Marvel Rivals. Yep, it's a good one.
It's going to be another Marvel Avengers situation, if you ask me.
Well, that's the thing. I think that okay, so I don't want to go too off topic, but in general, I think people are tired of comic book stuff. Not everybody, not if you were a hardcore comic book fan before it became trendy, you are still a hardcore, you didn't go anywhere. But let's just be real. There was a lot of fly-by-night fans who came in because of the Endgame, that whole thing, who were just here for that, and they've dipped out since. So I don't think it has the momentum it did at all. Like the whole franchise, the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe and Marvel in general.
It's just oversaturated.
There's too many, exactly, and
Way
it's like
too many.
And here's another thing too that I don't think that people in the entertainment industry get is that when companies like fail really bad with something, it makes it bad for other companies too. Like the Suicide Squad failing so badly, and the Marvel Avengers game failing so badly is like a cascading effect that will make people just be like, I ain't buying no comic book games. These games suck across the board. I'm not buying any more. Like, I'm just not. And it's like the Furiosa movie came out. Everyone's like, how come nobody went to see this movie? I'm like, because people are sick of bad movies across the board. They've seen so many now that like if they look at something and they're just like, yeah, that's probably just gonna suck too. Even if it doesn't, if they're just like, I'm just not interested. I'm not going anymore. Like when the leaders in the industry start doing bad, it's bad for everybody, even if people have nothing to do with it. Like if like 5 shitty horror games come out in a year, if you're the 6th horror game to come out and your game's good, no one will care because they bought the other 5 and they're like, screw horror. These games suck. I'm not buying any more horror games. They suck. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it's especially worse when it is
Mm,
like a massive IP like Marvel, because it's not just, shall we say, nerds that keep up to date on it, but even normies watch it too, because Marvel is a very safe bet, truth be told.
mhm,
And that will get massive exposure from millions of people that's way outside of like nerd culture. So
mhm.
that will hurt worse if, like, say, two things in a row are a complete disaster for them.
Yeah, and those people will just check out because they were never really invested in it anyway. It's just, if you're invested in something, you'll sit through something bad and put up with it because you hope that your beloved franchise will redeem itself and get better. So you'll keep coming back like who are, yeah, because I could think of a million examples. We all have those franchises. We all have those things where like maybe this time it'll be different, and then it comes out and you're like, oh no, it still sucks or whatever. It is what
Yeah.
it is. But
Hmm.
if you're not invested, if you're like I saw this one thing that was popular. Like I liked Game of Thrones and I watched 5 seasons, but I never read the books. I don't really care. And I'm not trying to say it's like if you're not invested, you'll just drop it and move on with your life. And I feel like that's happening a lot across the board. And like they problem with game development is they when they decide to make a game, it's based on the elements of the moment they decide to make it, and then the game comes out 8 years later and everything's changed. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the
So like when
market's
they
completely left behind, like whatever trend that game is chasing.
correct, so they're the all like there's live service games that are coming out now that are going to fail because they decided this was a good idea 7 or 8 years ago when it probably was a decent idea, but now people are so sick of that stuff's just like bombing across the board, and it's like, what are you going to do? Like you're screwed. Like they're
Hmm.
invested, time sunk, money sunk. It's coming out, baby. It is what it is. So I don't know. That's a problem, though. Um,
Yeah. Should we move
Market
on to the
conditions
next
change.
trailer from the state of
Yeah,
play?
yeah. Just those are my two like disliked ones the most. Let's talk about ones I like first. So this one looked cool. This was one for the old VR2. This was the
And Anna Tara, I think this was called, or was this the medieval one? Yeah, this is the medieval one.
yeah. This is Skydance's Behemoth.
Made by the developers, as you see, made Walking
Yep.
Dead Saints and Sinners, which most people still consider as one of the best VR games on all platforms.
Correct. Which is that's why I was excited to hear about this. Also, this
Same.
looks like fidelity wise, very, very nice. Like I bet that looks outstanding in the headset.
Mhm.
Also, like the actual like movements looks really smooth, looks really clean. The combat looks good. And I like the idea of fighting the huge giants. That gives me like a Shadows of the Colossus vibe, kind of.
Mhm.
And I think that could be really neat in VR, depending on how I liked exactly like Mario said. So that's what I'm saying. It definitely reminded me of Shadows Colossus, and I just think that would be it. That's a neat idea being in VR
Mhm.
with those giants swinging those. That's terrifying. I can see that being very intense. Just feel like, goddamn, like that looks cool, man. I don't know. I'm excited about this game.
And when
Um,
you were fighting like normal humans that are like your size, it would be nice if most fights they feel varied from the animations of the enemies. So that way that you don't realize they are not doing like the same exact like vertical slice constantly. So it will keep feeling like it very engaging and feel more immersive in VR, especially.
yeah, and I love man. So like nobody's ever happy. So you got people like me and people who are VR fans who are like, man, they're not showing enough VR stuff at these events. And then you have everybody else who's like, stupid VR games. Shut up, you dumb VR. I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah.
It's like
Hey,
half the
there's a
people are
reason
mad, half
Sony
the people
stopped
are not mad.
manufacturing the VR2 because it ain't selling at all.
It's way too expensive, man.
Yeah,
Like
too
no,
expensive, and there's no content, no exclusive content in there to make you want to buy it.
there's a couple things, but even if there are a couple things, they're not advertised. Nobody
No.
knows. It's
Why
not
is
like
Half-Life Alex still not on there?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't
even
know.
if I like didn't get like a good deal on my VR2 back then, if Half-Life Alex was announced for it, it's like I will
Mhm.
like pay full price for the VR2 just to play Half-Life Alyx again.
This one actually did really
Oh,
excite me.
is this the Alien one?
Yeah, this to
Yes,
me
this
was
is the
this
Alien
was
one. This looks
was-
sick.
this was the most exciting announcement of the show to me because again, I love VR and I love horror games and I love Alien. So this
At
is a
first, I
slam
thought they were
freaking
making
dunk.
an Alien Isolation VR version or something, but no, it seems like it's its own game.
Correct. I would absolutely die for Alien Isolation VR. I would completely support that if that happens.
Mhm.
Please do that as well. But I do
This
like the fact
holiday.
that this is.
If it
Now I
would
will
come out in
say
October, that'd be perfect timing for that.
it's like it doesn't look super amazing graphically, but this is probably just like a super early peek at it. And the fidelity will get a little bit better. But like if you look, like that looks nice, but like the alien
Mhm.
itself, that looks nice. I didn't like how the alien itself looked. I feel like it was a little.
I do
rough.
like how dark it looks, so that way it will
Like that
like
did look
up
pretty
the
good.
atmosphere so much.
But yes, I am extremely excited about this.
And the title is just Alien, right? So there's only going to be one xenomorph, I'm guessing.
I don't know because that scene with the eggs had a few eggs there, but I don't know. It just says rogue incursion. You know, who knows at this point?
Yeah, that definitely may be a day one buy for me, depending on the price.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it. So I feel like there's the VR shines the most in with horror games.
Absolutely.
That's like the absolute best thing to play on it, in my opinion, is horror games. It's just so unbelievably cool. And then obviously rail shooters are number 2. Any
Damn
type
right.
of on rail.
Love
Any
rail
type of-
shooters.
Any type of on rails sit around just shoot crap games. God, VR is just amazing for that. I've been meaning to play actually Operation Wolf. I got this a little while ago. I keep meaning to. I should pop this in and try this.
Wasn't that like a Super
It's super
Nintendo
fun.
game originally?
It's like an NES game. I think there's been a couple versions of it, so there may have been a Super Nintendo one as well.
Or at least there probably was arcade versions of like the same name as that Operation Wolf, and then they later ported it to a Super Nintendo and didn't look great, and now just had like a sudden revival on VR2, I suppose.
Yeah, looks cool. It looks like fun. I just like games like that. So now, next we have good old Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors, your Muso games.
So I mean, what is there really to say?
You've seen one Muso game, you've pretty much seen them all, honestly.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, if you like these games, here's another one. That's pretty much what I have to say about it.
It has been like a few years since the last Dynasty Warriors game, but even then, I think the last main title was an open world piece of trash from what I remember that failed horribly. Like it wasn't even considered a Muso game from what I remember.
So one thing about this genre, at least, is that these have always like technically pushed consoles to their limits, just because there's just so much damn stuff happening on the screens. Like most of these games, like they lag and drop frames and crap once it gets too crazy. So I don't know, maybe the power of the new consoles, this genre will just continue to get more and more absurd because it finally can do, you know, all that crazy stuff. And, you know, you can have 1,000 guys on the screen at the same time. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I like that concept. It's just a sheer absurdity of how much is going on at once. It's just crazy.
Yeah, though I feel like other games that aren't called Dynasty Warriors did the Muso genre better, like Hyrule Warriors and my personal favorite, Persona 5 Strikers. So let's see if Dynasty Warriors Origins, we have revealed, will be really good for the series that created the genre, because most Dynasty Warriors games, like as games themselves, have never been great, let's say, but they've
Mhm.
always been like junk food for a lot of people.
Yeah, just exactly, just a fun time. They're not, trying to be more than they are. They're just a fun little action game. But I'm actually with you. Like I liked Hyrule Warriors. I like the Persona one. I like Dragon Quest Heroes. But I don't play actual Dynasty Warrior games. And
Yeah.
I've played a few of the Warriors Orochi games, which are like spin-offs, but I never play the actual Dynasty Warriors. I don't know why.
Mhm.
So
I guess Muso games are good. Is a really good genre to have a lot of fan service for the series that it's in. That's why for like Hyrule Warriors, like honestly, that was like a big celebration for the Zelda franchise overall because they had characters from like every single game into like this one package, and was kind of similar to how a lot of people love Smash Bros. Just you
mhm.
have all these characters coming together and just beating the crap out of each other and just having a great time. The Muso games are perfect for like a series celebration, if you ask me.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, you ever hear how like like Vikings, their idea of heaven was Valhalla? And like literally their idea of heaven was every day you wake up and you go out and you fight all day and you kill each other all day. And at the end of the day, you all just meet up in this big hall and you get drunk. That was their idea of heaven. And I remember like, what a crazy idea. But then if you look, like, what do we dudes do all day long for fun? We go into the arena, we murder each other all day long. And then when we're done, we go and we eat dinner and it's literally like we have not evolved at all as a species. We are exactly the same. We just have cooler toys now, but we are the
Mhm.
same, man. It's literally all we if you ask like a Call of Duty player what heaven be like, oh, just playing COD all day is killing the buds all day every day. It sounds great. No, it's just funny.
Or League players, like, yeah, play League. I never have a great time.
Ah.
Breaks how many keyboards too, and their desk.
Speaking of games that are hard that make you break keyboards, this is Path of Exile 2 on console. Have you played this game?
I know of Path of Exile. I've never played it because when I see gameplay of it, it reminds me of Diablo, and therefore, yeah, don't really feel these types of games at all. But for what Path of Exile 2 is doing, it's really, really nice because it's going to be cross-play,
Mm-hmm.
cross progression. So whatever progress you make on PS5, you can have the same exact on PC or wherever you
Mm-hmm.
play it at. And
Yeah,
admittedly,
that's
it
sick.
looks this one does look really fun, and they made a big deal during like this trailer here that it supports couch co-op. When
Mm-hmm.
was the last time you heard a game having couch co-op that wasn't an indie game?
I mean, Diablo 3 had couch co-op on PS4.
And that was how many years ago?
I don't want to think about that, D Street. It was 2 years ago in my mind. Okay, gosh, like the fact that things happened in 2014, that's a decade ago, like makes me ill. Makes me ill to my like sick. I'm like, I can't believe it's so long. But
And
yeah,
my friend that I was watching the state of play with, he brought up to me, he's like, "My God, I've recently been playing Path of Exile 1, and he's put like I think he said almost like 200 hours into it recently."
so it is a very 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 good game. I've played it a little bit, but I'm not super hardcore or anything. It's what I like about Path of Exile, which I hope they kind of keep it the same way, is it's like unabashedly complicated. Like you open up the skill tree in that game, and it's just insane. It's
Mhm.
massive, and it is, and it's one of those things where it's like you cannot do everything. You have to choose. You have to plan your build, and you have to build a character with like some actual thought to it and a strategy and like a plan in mind. And
Mhm.
I thought that's cool. It's like really, it's very it makes me feel like I'm actually role playing a little bit, like I'm actually playing a hard game. Like I don't like things that are too easy. And I know that everyone's like accessibility and accessibility. We should make it so everybody can play. And I'm like, I understand that, but that makes it less fun for me when I'm playing a game that I'm like, is this a game for dummies? Like
Mhm.
if I'm, you know what I mean? Like any game, like I said, I hate games that just act like I've never played a game before ever. It's like
Yeah,
you can
Kingdom Hearts
move
comes to mind for me.
left and right with the analog stick. I'm like, I can't even believe you're saying this. It's like, why are you
Mo-
doing this?
Most of the Zelda games for the first
Dude.
few hours too is terrible for repeat
Mm-hmm.
playthroughs.
Oh God, that is the worst. Yeah, and then my girlfriend, she just started a new file on Dragon Quest Builders, and it's like, God, you got to go through like 20, 30 minutes of intro garbage before you can actually play the game. And
It's
like that
most
could be
devs need to consider for like when a tutorial like comes up, just press a
Mhm.
single button to just skip ahead instantly.
Yeah, agreed. Like there should always be an option. Maybe not the first time if they can identify it, but if you've beaten the game, you're playing it at least a second time, like it should obviously let you skip that stuff. Because
Mhm.
it can be like, oh man, it's tough to go if you want to replay a game if you know you have to sit through 45 minutes of garbage.
Yeah, this trailer of Exile 2
Yeah.
is like, can really tell it is a game that is really deep with its gameplay,
Mhm.
which I too really appreciate when we get
Mhm.
games that are like that. And even then, if these games are complex, I even see people who aren't like serious gamers or even are like new that are now getting into the hobby. They adjust to these games fairly quickly too. So it just depends on who you ask
Mhm.
if they think it's complex or not at the end of the day.
There's the skull tree. That's what I'm talking about. Look at
Oh
that.
my God, it looks like the Milky Way.
It's insane, dude. Yeah, dude. Look at that. That's what I'm saying. Like, now this is a game
Insane.
made by nerds, and they with no apologies. They're like, no, no, no. You figure it out, bros. Like, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, I like that when I open that up and I'm like, well, goddamn. And also
That
it's nice.
heavily encourages replayability right
Well,
there.
exactly. And it also makes it very clear right away that like you should not be trying to do everything. You need to just build a build and try again. So like
Mhm.
some games, like I've said this, I'm so stupid. Like the first time I played Skyrim, I tried to be a warrior with a one-handed sword who was also good with a two-handed sword, who was also really good with magic, who was also a good thief, who was also a werewolf, who was also a vampire, who was also a rebel, who was all I tried to do like everything, you know what I mean, on one character because I was like, I don't know, it's just that that's how you're supposed that's not how you're supposed to play the game.
No,
You're supposed to
that's
you're supposed to play the
even
game
then,
like
you
five,
won't be
six
able
times.
to max out like in every single
No.
field.
You literally can't. Which that's where I got mad because it's like, for example, you can't be a vampire and a werewolf, or you can be one or the other. Like you can't be both. So
Mhm.
I was like, damn it! I wish I'd known that. I'm like invested in being a werewolf now, and I wish I would have been a vampire.
I think my most favorite game that's like this, where it is very deep in its gameplay, System Shock 2, which I've been
Oh,
playing the System Shock remake and 2 on my new monitor right here because 32 by
mhm.
9 OLED super ultra wide's like, oh my God, this is super immersive.
Oh,
And I still remember System Shock 2 was the very
Mm.
first game I ever bought on Steam for $1 back in December
That's awesome.
2015, and I wanted to re-experience that on this beautiful monitor.
So dude, I'm honestly jealous of you right now because like my PC that I have now, it's really old. But when I got it at the time, it was like, supercomputer. It was really awesome when I got it. And the first game that I played was BioShock. And I had such a good time playing that because I was set up in like my basement, no windows, pitch black room, just no one around, just me sitting down there completely in the dark, no lights on, just playing BioShock with my headphones on. And I was like you said, immersion. That's where I learned what that word means. I was in rapture, bro. Like I was there. I was so into that game. And I had just one of the most incredible gaming experiences of my life. And I just ordered my new PC and it should come whenever. I don't even know. They're building it or whatever, about a month, whenever the hell it gets here. Who knows?
You ain't building it yourself. You ain't no elitist like me.
I have built them before in the past, but like, dude, I'm lazy. Just being fucking honest with you, dude. I got the money And the time, I don't want to. Like, I'd rather just pay someone to do it.
Fair enough. Just for
and
me that I work in IT,
Mm.
like it's a given that I would
okay.
love doing it myself. So
Mhm.
far that I do custom water cooling where I take like tubes and heat it up with a heat gun to make my own tubes and just have a liquid running through this thing, which I need to clean
Mhm.
out pretty soon. It's been a while.
I am Lee. I built the PC I'm on right now, son of a bitch. It's not like I've never done it. I can't. I'll be honest. Like, I can't do the wiring as nicely as they do. It'll never come out as nice as they do.
Fantex is the case I recommend if you want really good cable management. If you ever in the future build one yourself, Fantex is the only case manufacturer I buy from these days.
So, but the next time I build a computer, I'll actually have my own personal AI robot from Boston Dynamics that hangs out with me, like the Jetsons, named Rosie, and she'll just build that shit for me. You know, I mean, we're talking like 15 years from now. So,
If that ever will truly be a thing, Joe, I'm tired of AI these days.
oh, you're not. You have no. If you think you're tired of it now, just wait. Just wait in like 5 years when you can no longer speak to any human being at anywhere on anything. AI will be the only customer service you can talk to, no matter who you call, anywhere you call, any company you call.
I could
It's
see
already
it
like
getting
that now.
there in the next like 10 years where like all of like the biggest corporations for their customer helpline, they're just going to make it all AI based and just get
Mhm.
rid of all of the actual call center people that are all like Mexicans or people with terrible English. And, like they're all just going to be super out of a job.
Lots of them will be.
Mhm.
But not all of them, because there will always be people who just refuse to speak to robots.
Yeah. To speak with an associate. Instantly type that into the chat.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like that now with a lot of places, and they always like offer you like 3 options that have nothing to do with what you're calling about.
No, they never
They're like,
do.
would you like to pay your bill? No. Would you like to sign up for a new account? No. Well, that's all we're gonna offer. What would you like to do? No, motherfucker, I got something else I want. Operator.
Because that I am getting in contact with customer service this way, this probably means I have a very unique issue that requires an associate to talk to, for God's sake. So all of your automatically generated stuff that would take me 2 seconds to do and 95% of the time doesn't fix the issue, let me talk to an associate, damn it.
So let's move on to the most exciting game of the presentation.
Oh, is this?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't have a lot to say about this one. I don't really know.
As I told my friend while I was watching this, I am like somewhat interested in this because it is not a remaster from Sony and it's not a Last of Us ripoff, or I would rather say to that a Resident Evil 4 ripoff.
I thought it was an Atelier game when I first saw it, but it's clearly not.
Fair
and
enough, yeah.
I'm not even sure what the fuck is it, like a Souls-like
The
platformer where you're
3D mascot platformer like your
where you're like
Banjo-Kazooies.
super kawaii. I'm not sure. I can't say it doesn't interest me at all because it does look really nice. Like it looks amazing.
Yeah, presentation looks great. It does seem anime inspired, but trying to be in the more Pixar realm of very well done animations.
I just want to do the little hopping sparkly fart she does. You know what I'm talking about? Did you see this part? Like, watch her. She hops. She farts sparkles, and it makes her hop. Ready? Well, there it goes. Oh, she got to do it. Come on. Come on. Don't make me look like a crazy person. I know she does it. So it's like you jump and then you do this little fart and you fart sparkles and then you kind of float. Looks like dope.
The
gameplay.
walking animation looks super.
There she goes. You see?
There she
There's
goes.
There it is. You see what I'm saying? I want to sparkle farts.
And she turns into Nekos.
Yeah,
Hmm.
she turns into a cat with a handkerchief on its head, fucking something.
It
Don't
looks
know
like a
what's going
very
on here.
kawaii version of the
Goodbye.
Monster Hunter cat.
Yeah, it's I don't know. This is one of those games where I kind of want to play it myself, but I don't want to buy it. So what I'll do is I'll buy it for my girlfriend,
Well, I'm gonna buy it when it's like $20-$30.
and then if she doesn't play it, I suppose I'll buy it just because I bought it. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't buy it for me.
Mm.
But I'm just gonna be honest
But I
with
would
you.
have to see like actual gameplay of this before I really get sold on it, though. Because if it
Dude,
is like a 3D mascot platformer like Banjo Kazooie, then I'm all for games like that. That's one of my favorite genres.
may I remind you of the sparkle farts one more time? I mean, I don't know what else you need to be sold on. Like, what other mechanic does a game need? Like, if The Last of Us 2, if Joel could sparkle fart, I would have bought that immediately, day one. If I'm just saying, like, look at that, right? Boom, look at that, boom. I don't know.
They had to
I'm
show it
sold.
off 3 times. They were really proud of that platform mechanic.
Well, they knew that people like me would really appreciate the old sparkle farts. So yeah. Anyway, that's that game. Looks like a good one. What else? So then we had the Ballad of
The
what was it?
Ballad of
Antara.
Antarda, yeah.
So this looks good. This looks good. I mean, it looks like a Souls like.
At first, I thought it was either a Sekiro remaster or sequel, but then I remembered I didn't see a From Software name.
So I just think I don't know. Is that like your kid on your back? Is he always on your back? Because does that mean like as you dodge, like if there'll be a huge monster and he's trying to punch you in the face, and like the punch is coming in and you just kind of move out of the way and it just punches your kid in the face instead? It's right in the face. It's just like I don't know if I can handle that if the whole game is like my kid on my back getting his ass beat. I'm like, I'm sorry, bro.
Or could this be the next Team Eco inspired game? Seeing like the main character and that kid on his back. It seems like a character design that Team Eco would make.
That's fair. And it looks like that's only one of the characters. You can be all these other characters too. But I don't know. I think the graphics look outstanding. Gameplay looks pretty good.
If
the
it
art
is
style, it's weird, but that's all right.
if the gameplay is like your Souls like or a DMC inspired combat, I'm all for it.
Yeah. So this one again, I'd probably have to see a little bit more of the actual game, but I'm intrigued by this one. I thought this one was a cool looking game. And good old fashioned Monster Hunter Wilds.
Nice.
How do you feel about these games?
I would say like I do like Monster Hunter, but admittedly I have only played maybe like 12 hours overall of this series. I really do like them for what they are, but it's one of those games where if I want to play it, it has to be the only thing I want to play for like an entire month, probably. But Wilds, though, does look pretty nice. It is basically the sequel to Worlds, which I think is still Capcom's most successful video game they've ever made.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. If you look up sales, like I'm sure it is their best-selling game of all time still.
That's sick. So yeah, I'm intrigued by these. I've only played a little bit of these games, and I know there's like a bunch of them. I have them on the 3DS, and I always like them. I think I always felt they would kind of remind me of like World of Warcraft Lite. Is the way I described it, where it's like you're like doing like fighting bosses and stuff with your teammates, but instead of doing it with 30 people or 40 people or 20 or whatever, you're doing it with like 4 or 5 people. More like raid instances or dungeons or something.
And even other series that are clearly inspired by Monster Hunter, like one that instantly comes to mind, God Eater. I'm a big fan of those
Mhm.
too.
Yep.
God Eater, I think I'd probably be more of a fan of compared to Monster Hunter because I'm a sucker for anime and the designs
Mhm.
of the creatures you fight in God Eater look insane. And
Mhm.
also, big shout out to Freedom Wars as well. For God's sake, Sony needs to do a remaster of that or make another Freedom Wars like game. I miss that game a lot.
Did that only come out on the Vita?
Only on the Vita.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think that's like
Very,
one of
very good
the
one.
if people are like, I got a Vita, what should I get? That's like always one I'm like, you should get that game.
It's a
It's just
great game and is really cheap still on the Vita
Yep.
physically.
It's not bad at all. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I think I'll pick it up. I'll probably wait till it's on sale, just because
Yeah,
I'm not a
same.
huge Monster Hunter guy.
And I
But
also want to have friends to play with it at the time too. And I know I have
well,
one other friend. He's a big Monster Hunter fanatic, and I would definitely want to play this with him.
that's exactly what I was just gonna say. Is like I will probably wait for it's on sale, or I'll wait till a couple of my friends play it at the same time, and then I'll just hop on the train with them when they play it because it will be super fun to play with friends for sure.
Hmm.
And then almost done with the games. What do we got left? Okay, so the two big ones. So this is actually, to me, I think this was the most exciting announcement. I thought that this,
The Astrobot game.
dude, this
Uh,
looks
I
awesome.
I love Astrobot so much. So the Astro
Mhm.
Playroom, that is the greatest tech demo game ever made. Definitely top 5 launch games ever made. It did exactly what a launch title was supposed to do for a system.
Mhm.
On top of that, it's just such fan service for PlayStation if you're a fan of the brand.
Hell yeah. That's one of the things that I liked about this ad is if you look, there's like a bunch of little Easter eggs in it, little characters and items from other games and little references to other games, which is a lot of fun. And then just in this, man, it just looks fun. I don't know how else to describe it. It just looks like a
Mhm.
fun ass game. Like it's like the same thing it's like a Ratchet and Clank game. You just know it's gonna be a good time.
Absolute good time.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about this one. I like platformers a lot. And I feel like, you know, Nintendo is so good at making games like this, and Sony needs to make more like this. So I'm
Mhm.
glad that they're doing that and they're putting a little effort into it.
So that's why they have a team Osobi, I think that's the name of the studio that
Mhm.
does all the Astro stuff. They've done it since the original like Playroom on the PS4. Then that was a launch like title in quotations. I think that was their very first game ever too.
All I know is I'm so excited for
That
this.
was Nathan Drake and Journey. I don't know what that
Mhm.
is, but
Rapper
Parappa
the
the
Rapper.
Rapper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's so fun. So yeah, I gotta say I think this is the one I'm most looking forward to.
This was top 3 in the overall state of play IMO.
Oh yeah, there's like that's like a Donkey Kong to me. Like, yeah, this looks so sick. Sony's console for hardcore. I mean, yeah, but that doesn't mean you have to abandon the fun market too. I don't know. The
Never
more got
forget Japan Studio. They were the ones that made the most creative Sony exclusives.
dude, look at how good this looks though. Goodness. And this is just on a crappy, stream on the OLED on in 4K. It's gonna look
There's your Kratos.
oh god, is it gonna look good? Aladdin. So yeah. Star Wars. It just looks dope. Where are the Stella Blade clones?
And
Oh, they're
that
coming,
shot right
Speed Killer.
there, you could pick out some like old PlayStation accessories. I saw the multi-tap was in there, so you could just
Mhm.
like pause on that frame right there and just pick out some PlayStation hardware history in there.
So he says, "Where are the Stellar Blade clones?" And they're coming. So do you know how like Dark Souls blew up, and then like over the next 5 years we got like a 50 Dark Souls clones. Now that Stellar Blade was like the #1 selling game for a month, people like, you know, the titties are back on the menu, boys. It's gonna be, and I think that's what we need as a culture. Honestly, like, I do not like Puritan. I don't like this weird, you know, censorship, morality police thing going on we have. And like the best way to deal with that is just go the opposite direction when people complain. When they're like, I don't like that there's boobies in this game. I'd be like, cool. Next game, give the characters 3 tits and make them triple D's. Make it even more ridiculous. And then if they complain about that, put 3 tits on the front and then 3 tits on the back.
Until
So
we
this
banish them
tits.
as till they find the
It
next
just-
community they want to
Dude.
bitch about.
Yes. So they're just like, every time I open my mouth, these losers do make it worse. I'm just gonna leave. I give up. Like, that's the just make them give up. Just
They just
Go
want to
away.
find something to promote their political view, whatever it is. You know, that's always what it is. You remember Anita Sarkeesian? Exactly. That's exactly what happened.
they're locusts is what they are. So they're parasites. What they do is they find a fertile crop, or they find a fertile place to go, and that's a fandom or something. So, you know, here we are, we're all over here buying our games, and these locusts come in and they push their propaganda until they destroy the field, until there's nothing left. They've salted the earth, nothing grows. They've ruined the industry, and then once they've killed it, they detach from the husk and they move on to the next thing. And they've been doing this for like 15 years. But guess what? They've run out of things to do that to. And now they're just all dying because they've eaten all the food. There's nothing left. So they're all going to go out of business. It's great. You're going to see in the next 5 years, it'll all go away. All of these crazy journalists will have no jobs anymore because the ad revenue is dying up. AI is putting them completely out of business and making them irrelevant. And YouTubers do a better job anyway. Why the hell would you go to one of these websites for gaming advice or news or anything? Well, you can just go to
Yes.
YouTube. You can
As
get a
every
better
single
walkthrough, better reviews, everything about it.
straight to the point on stuff as well too, for God's
Mhm.
sake. So I don't have to sit through any sponsorships for like 30 seconds or them doing all circle jerks with everyone around the couch until we finally see
Mhm.
what the topic of the video is.
Correct. And that not once do any of the YouTubers when I go to for game reviews sit there and go, by the way, did you know you're a terrible person? Did you know that? You suck. I'm like, what? Why would I come here if you clearly don't like me? Why would I give you money or time or attention? You guys are stupid. Like, I don't know. When I was in the 90s, like, people knew you just shut your fucking mouth about politics and stuff if you were in a business, because all you do is alienate people. You don't grow your customers ever by doing that. Never, ever, ever. Because when you start doing that, same thing on this show. If I just started to get super political in one direction or the other, I'm going to alienate half the people.
You're
who
going to
watch,
alienate, yes.
no matter what. And it's not, and I'm not going to replace those people by doubling my audience with people who agree with me. That's not going to happen. All you're going to do is lose people. And I don't understand how these businesses just don't get that, what they're doing. They're just like, I know what we're going to do. We're going to do this thing. It's going to make things, it's going to be more inclusive and everyone's going to love it. And we're going to sell more stuff. And then they do it. And what do? They sell less stuff.
Yep,
and then they just
do.
double down and they triple down and they quadruple down and they keep doing it over and over again. They don't make more money. They make less money. It doesn't make any sense. It's totally irrational, but it doesn't matter because that only works when people were giving out venture capital and free loans and low interest loans and all that other stuff. That's all done now. There's no, the money tap's turned off. No one's investing in these people, and interest rates are so high right now. Businesses can't get cheap loans. So they have to actually make money now. So now they're all screwed because nobody wants to go there. And then why would you give them any money? Like if I saw a company that advertises heavily on Kotaku, I would go out of my way not to buy their products.
Totally, yeah.
Literally would. I would be like, oh, you guys are in line with the lunatics that I don't like. You're never gonna get my money ever again. Never. So Kotaku's only gonna be able to sell ads for cat food and adult toys. That's the only thing they'll be able to sell. That's the only thing. That's the only people who go to their websites is women who have no husbands and lots of cats. That's the only people going to read that shit anyway. That's all you're going to sell: cat food and dildos. So enjoy your future there. Anyway, let's talk about the
Fascinating how topics that should not be linked with one another, they always find a way. It's fascinating, isn't it?
So I mean I've theorized that it's like the only way they can get any clicks. It's the only way they can get people to go to their website is if they say something that they know will irritate everybody and piss everybody off, and then everybody talks about it, and then everybody goes to their website just to read it so they can hate it, or it's like they it's all hate clicks. Like it's so I feel like honestly, like a lot of these websites and a lot of these people, they say stuff that they don't actually believe. Like they don't believe this stuff. They know it's complete nonsense. They know it's complete ridiculous, but they just know it'll piss off the chuds, man. It'll piss off these people and it'll piss off the YouTubers. So they say it on purpose. So they'll just be like, did you know that, Zelda is actually a Marxist allegory about, child marriage? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? It's like, no, it isn't.
That came out of nowhere.
Just shut up, dude. No. And you know what? That's not, nobody wants to talk about that. This is a video game people, when we talk about games, I know this sounds crazy, but we'd like to know about the games. Like, how is the inventory? How are the controls? Does the dodge roll feel good? Does it feel like there's frame drops? Is the parry system good? Is the combat good? Is the camera tracking good? Like, are the quests good? Is the story written quality? Is the voice act? Talk about stuff that the game stuff that we would want to know, like that would inform us about whether or not we would like to purchase it. Okay, when you start talking about ludicrous things that clearly show that you're just fucking nuts and you think about crazy, stupid shit all the time, that's not going to do it. It's not going to do it.
And when people realize that about you, they instantly realize you are flat out fake, dude.
Yeah,
in this hobby.
Yeah, correct. And you don't probably play games. That's all I think. If you write a game review and it's about everything but the game, I'm like, you didn't play the game. Or if you did play the game, like you don't actually play games or care.
Let me see the trophy list so I can see if you actually did beat the game.
I don't even care if you beat it, but I don't know. I swear to God, these people just don't play them at all. Like, I just don't think they play any games at all. None. I think they're frauds. I don't think they play them. I think like a lot of them, they just Google other people's reviews and steal. They're all plagiarists.
Yeah.
I bet half of them watch YouTubers and steal their reviews and just use that and then rewrite it in their own words, and then they claim to hate those people. But anyway,
Shall we look at the to me, which would be
the main
the
event,
biggest thing from the State of Play earlier today?
Yeah, I'm gonna put the sound on. Excuse me, guys. Think about this.
I'm sorry. I was just...
It's okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost. I'm looking for Silent Hill.
I'm excited.
I think you should stay away. This town, there's something
I just want to know
wrong
who's
with
been
it.
smoking all this weed around here.
Is it
The whole
dangerous?
town is freaking clam boxed.
Maybe.
I'll be careful.
Oh, that thing.
I'm not lying.
I guess I don't really care if it's dangerous or not.
My favorite line from James, right there.
I just want to point out that I'm amazed I can tell that her pants are corduroy. It's insane. You can tell.
You shouldn't be here.
The noise those nurses make. Oh.
So that's the most important part of Silent Hill is the sound design to me.
And monster design.
Yes, it's so. That's where all the creepiness comes from. Is the freakish designs and the creepy sounds,
I'll be
man.
good, I
Oh my
promise.
god.
Tell him I'll be good, please.
Nope, time for a spanking. That guy looks sick.
Mhm.
Ah,
Please.
October 8th, baby.
aka October 6th if you pre-order the deluxe edition.
Which I'm sure you did.
Not yet. I still have to find a key
Or
for
you
cheap
will.
on Steam. I will eventually. Not for 70 or like $90, whatever it's gonna be.
So yeah, I'm excited for it. I think
Might
it
I
looks decent.
Might I point out, a lot of the lines, especially at this starting section in the cemetery, a lot of them are like word for word the same from the OG game, and I know for a fact because I know that game by heart.
What's up, man? Yeah, I mean, I would hope so. I mean, it should be word for word. I don't see why they would rewrite it.
And it is also true that they did redesign James's face compared to the reveal trailer. He looks more closely to the OG version, where the first reveal trailer of Remake, he really did look a lot older. But to me, that wasn't a problem for me. He still looked like James Sunderland from Silent Hill 2. And but so they just felt the need to change up his look before that.
So I do agree it's a little jarring at first if you compare it to the actual old game. Like you don't even notice it when you just watch it in itself, but when you look at the old game, he does look a lot different. But I also feel like he was more generic looking in the old game. He just looked like I don't know, like this character, this design has a more unique facial structure. I think it looks like more like a real actor or something like that. They may have based it on. And that's probably just a personal bias, but I don't mind it. I don't mind the changes. I think it looks good.
The font of the title is still the exact same on the original cover art here. I also, we'll talk about the transmission event next, but the now that seeing more of the combat, I'm feeling more lenient towards it now because the last thing they released based on the remake was I believe it was called the combat trailer a few months ago, and that was a bad trailer for the game. They really made it wanted to seem like getting closer to like Resident Evil 6 territories. It didn't look good. It was not a good representation of what this game really is.
So I also think people may over romanticize what the combat was like in the original Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2. It wasn't that crazy complicated to begin with. Like the combat never was like anything too wild. It was there, but that's not the selling point of the game. It was all the puzzles and the atmosphere and the story and the creepiness. Like I was telling you before, in one in particular, like there's not a lot of situations where you're necessarily rewarded for killing the monsters.
No, all the games you're not rewarded at all. In fact, in Silent Hill 3, to get the worst ending, you have to kill more monsters in that game to get the bad ending. So it's always been like discouraged if you really are able to just get past them.
Yeah, and so like I feel like that is like how I remember the games most of the time. I try to avoid combat as much as possible. So I do understand obviously people being critical of the combat, but I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like that was never a huge part of it anyway. So I would like, could definitely see it being spruced up. But what do you guys want? Do you want it to be like freaking Tekken? You want them to be like doing,
No,
bicycle
I don't
kicks like
even
Liu
want them
Kang?
to
Like,
be.
what do you want them to do?
I don't even want it to be a Resident Evil 1 stars unit members at all. They've always been about playing as a protagonist that is just a normal person like you and I, like aside from the nerd culture stuff, but they would be your typical guy working at a cashier or a receptionist at a bank. So of course they are not going to instantly know how to like load a shotgun or a handgun. It may take them a little bit to fully understand it, and even how they handle it, like it's not completely normal, honestly. And looking at the gameplay of the trailer as well as the later on the transmission where they show like a lot more gameplay and that the shooting still seems like wonky as it was in the original games, and that's a good thing because, like I said, I do not want to be playing as Resident Evil 5 Chris Redfield in Silent
Yeah,
Hill.
exactly.
That will really destroy the feel of these
Mhm.
games. The only thing that seems still a little concerning for the combat in SH2 Remake is the melee, because if you have seen the transmission gameplay trailer, when he was attacking them with like the wood plank, it did seem like really fast that he was like hitting them. For when you press the button for like the hit to land, it did seem
Mhm.
like fast. A thing to note for like OG Silent Hill 2, for like any melee weapon, when you would press like the attack button, he would do like big wind up animations for the attacks every single time. Compare that to like any other hack and slash game, like your Bayonettas, your Devil May Cry's, a Stellar Blade. As soon as you press like the attack button, they instantly
Mhm.
attack. It's like milliseconds, like a few frames until like the hit actually lands. But in Silent Hill, it's like what feels like half a second for the hit to actually land. And
Mhm.
that stuff goes a long way for how a game's combat feels.
Yep.
And seeing in the remake, it seems a little too fast than what I would prefer it to be. But then
Mhm.
again, gotta play it for myself to see like how like all the melee weapons will feel too.
So you just there gave more valid insight into a review of this game than any reviewer will give when it comes up. Just so you know. You
Mhm.
even noticing the attack speed is faster than the original game and that changes how the game feels is they won't even mention that. They won't even bring it up. They'll just be like,
No.
"Oh, 10 out of 10. Graphics are great. Masterpiece." That's what they'll say every time. They don't talk about stuff like that. And I don't think they even notice. They won't even notice,
No.
like, you
Did
know what
they
I
even
mean? So
play the original game and
correct.
like enough times to where they fully understand like how that first game felt compared to like any like modern day survival horror game is very different than how it felt back then.
Um, I just yeah, I'm excited about it. Um,
But my expectations are still completely in check. This is still Konami we're talking about. But at the very
mhm,
least, I can say after seeing all the stuff that came out about the Sound Hill 2 remake, I am at least like have confidence at the bare minimum. This will be a good survival horror game.
mhm.
Just if this has what it takes to hold up as a remake to a objective masterpiece of video games and art overall, I'd still have reasonable expectations right there, but still feel like this will be a very solid survival horror game that will comfortably be right next to like the recent Resident Evil remakes. It looks that fun, that well made too. And maybe
So
Blooper Team will finally have the major hit they really need to make me actually care about them as a developer.
so I'm with Turner and I'm with you. Like even if this game isn't perfect, I just hope it does really well. Like I really do want to support this. I'm excited about this because I just want Konami to care about their franchises again so badly. Like I want this to lead to another Silent Hill game. I want this to lead to good Contra games. I want this to lead to freaking good Castlevania games
New
coming out
2D
again.
Castlevania games
Yeah,
again.
I'll take it. 2D, I'll take a 3. I just give me good Castlevania.
It's so sad Konami owns like a good majority of my most favorite video game series. Metal
Lots of
Gear,
it.
my most
Sick.
favorite.
Yeah.
Silent Hill is my second most favorite.
Mhm,
Contra, I love so much. It always gets
mhm.
blood pumping and like always a fun time playing almost any Contra game. Castlevania is like major fan base right there. That even like outside of like gaming culture, Castlevania has like a fan base thanks to like the Netflix show, which is a very solid show.
I'm actually gonna buy those soon on DVD. I've been eyeballing those for a while. I'm gonna pick them up because I saw the first season and I loved it, and I never watched any of the others, and I really want to watch it. Looks dope.
Speaking of, they did announce a bunch of new merch that alongside the Silent Hill transmission event earlier, and
Mhm.
one of them was a literal, very good-looking replica of James' jacket. That as soon as the transmission stream ended, I went to the official Konami store and I pre-ordered it.
Oh, that's badass, dude.
Mhm.
You'll have to wear it on the podcast.
And I have to point this out. The
Mhm.
Konami code works on the Konami store.
Really?
Yes. So
You get a
when I
discount?
was at checkout, I had Honey as an extension to scour for whatever coupons. It did find a coupon, saved me $22. The coupon code was called up down 10. The Konami
awesome.
code works against capitalism. Let's go.
Impressive.
That made me laugh so much when I saw that. It saved me $22. Like that's a good
Hell
chunk of
yeah.
change right there.
That's a good discount.
Hmm.
So we went a little long on that, but I hope you're ready because you know what time it is?
God, what time is it?
It's time for the Figsy quiz.
Oh joy!
But
Only
before we
me
do,
on here.
we might as well get this out of the way. If you're wondering where is Figsy, you may be wondering that. Real quick, Figsy, he's been traveling the world. He's been learning about GeoGuessr, trying to master everything there is to know. So this week let's check in where is Figsy. So real quick, he's been in Spain, Mexico, he's been in France, Antarctica, Japan, another Japan, Russia,
Oh, new best friend.
Italy. Last week he was in Germany. And where is he this week, guys? He's over in the UK, watching the good old Chelsea. I don't know why he looks so freaking weird, but
His head is huge compared to everyone.
something's wrong with this picture. I feel like he's got an extra arm, maybe two, or like you know what it looks like. You see the guy on the right? It looks like his arm is going through
His
him,
go-
and it's like this giant arm that's coming out the other side. Yeah, this is clearly real. Definitely real. Anyway, that's Figsy. That's where he is. He'll be back soon, guys. Couple more weeks. He should have that sorted out. So anyway, it's time to do the quiz. Let's do it. All right. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to show you some pictures, and this is either going to be a hidden word, or you just have to say like the name of the game. So it'll make sense when I do it.
Mhm.
So the first one, question 1. See, it's all blurred out. Can you guess the name of the game from this picture?
Is it Crazy Taxi?
Wait, did I not put this answer in there? Shit, why is it not in there? It is Crazy Taxi, but I think for some reason it deleted the picture.
The
Sometimes
Dreamcast thing on the bottom will instantly give it away, honestly.
Yeah, it is. I don't know where the answer went, but yeah. This stupid thing got deleted. Question 2. The only thing worse than the weight of the world on your shoulders is the weight of the moon.
Is that Majora's Mask?
Hell yeah, it is. 2 for 2, baby.
I need like a screenshot of that image right there. You got to send it to me afterwards. I love that.
That's pretty badass. What is the missing word?
Like, I honestly don't want to say anything Earthworm Jim.
It's not as complicated as you think. That's the only hint I'll give you.
It's a multi-platform game. I don't know. I have no clue.
All right, no worries. The answer is your worm.
Just Worm, really?
Yeah, man. Now you can play with your worm in public.
So there really was an Earthworm Jim game on both Game Gear and Game Boy?
I
I
apparently
didn't know that. I would have to
Yeah.
look into that.
Yeah, I mean, it got ported to a million things. It's on Genesis, Sega CD, Sega Saturn. Wait, Earthworm Jim 2 might be the one on Saturn. I don't know. It's on lots of stuff.
It's a series that's completely abandoned these days.
What is the missing word?
Is it 2 words?
There's
Or-
two. There's 2 different words. Yeah, you can guess either one of them. Who makes a better hero, SpongeBob or a guy named Bob? Remember, and if you want the collector's editions of this game for PS4, it's on sale on Best Buy right now, $39.99. Comes with the
Yeah.
statue and everything.
Yeah, it's a Battle for Bikini Bottom rehydrated.
That's the new one. But the question marks are in the middle here. It says, I have blank and I'm not wearing blank. Those are the ones you want to guess. Pretty sure the first one's herpes. No, it's not. It's not herpes. I'm just throwing you way off. It's a curveball.
It's the first one. I have pants. And the guy's saying, I'm not wearing pants.
Good enough. I'll give it to you.
Perfect.
He has square pants. And the other guy's not wearing any pants. And Bob, that's really creepy, dude. You're an old ass man. Put some pants on. What are you doing
Yeah,
walking around?
I don't want to see that stuff.
SpongeBob's a kid's show. If SpongeBob's around, kids are gonna be around. Put some pants on, bro. Just, what the heck, man? By the way, can I just point out this background is awesome.
Ain't it?
You know, I just think it is.
I love the bunny trash on the left there.
Yeah, it's and I like the guy in the stall. He's got one leg twitching. He's trying to wriggle that turd out. It's like
He's having a real hard time in there.
He's trying to get it out. I don't know. This is epic background. Question 5. Name that game. This a tough one.
Is it Night Trap?
No, sir. It is The Sims.
Oh, The Sims.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense with the dialogue choices around her.
Question 6. Name that word.
Is it Mania?
Bam!
Right.
Crushed it. We all have a little Mickey mania, don't we?
Mm-mm.
Name that game.
Jesus Lord.
I would never get this one in a million years. But if you don't get it, you're stupid. No, I'm just kidding. That's not. Sorry. I literally.
Yeah, honestly,
would have
where the
no
title is in the bottom right, it
Mhm.
does seem familiar to me.
Mhm.
Too.
So it's got that psychnosis owl on it or whatever. And I think that's a 3D. Oh, no. It says Sony Interactive Europe PlayStation. So that can't be a 3DO logo. Any guesses, Sarah?
It's got to be a European game because I see Sony Interactive Europe in the bottom left.
Oui, it's a Sortie du Lot.
Oh,
Regional Traité. My French
I
is
don't
really
know
good.
'cause I don't know any European PS1 games that would fit this.
Any guesses? I mean, I'd like I
no,
said,
no
don't feel bad.
guesses.
I would never in a million years get this. It was Lemmings.
Lemmings. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. The series, like
Mhm.
I definitely know Lemmings, but it never clicks until I see the title.
Well, I mean, it's just a bunch of dudes with 3D glasses with news, and they all got newspapers waiting in line to go
You
take a
know,
poop.
the
I'm
very
assuming.
back of my head, I wanted to say LSD simulator.
Hey,
the,
hey.
the Japan exclusive PS1 game.
I just want to know why they all. I mean, are they all waiting in line to go poop? They got newspapers, so I'm assuming that's what this is. This is the line for the bathroom.
Same exact issue too. There's some serious news going on that day.
Question 8.
Now
What
you're
is that missing word?
Now you're cooking with Abe.
Look at the picture. It's giving you a hint. What's Abe doing?
And his shit, because he's got a massive hole right there.
That's right. What's coming out of that massive hole?
Gas.
I pretty much gave you the answer, but yeah, you got it.
That's a
He's
weird
shitting
looking ad
himself.
for it. I
Yeah,
honestly never
old-
liked Oddworld.
Old-
Just something with the characters, the world just doesn't look right to me at all. Makes me cringe.
It's not like I dislike them. It's just one of those games I never really got into. But I was always impressed with the graphics. Like I did think
Has
that
a big cult following for sure.
firing. That's right. They do. Name that game, I believe. Yep. Name that game. We got you, we got her, and then we got them in the middle. Bastards. You know them. Those sons of bitches. It's pretty generic. I've never seen this advertisement either. Makes you feel better.
Neither have I.
Oh God, I'm missing another picture up here. God dang it.
God,
Missing
you're
a few of 'em.
professional with this.
They know it's stupid Streamlabs. It's not my fault. The stupid website's stupid. I uploaded them all. They were all there. I had them all set up, and then they just freaking error out and disappear. Baloney.
Is it Kingsfield?
It's not Kingsfield. It is Wind Waker.
Zelda How is that like Wind Waker?
I don't know.
I
I
like
figured-
OT and the Twilight Princess could fit it, but
I agreed.
what the hell?
I don't know. I figured, to me, like any advertisement for Wind Waker that doesn't have a boat is doing it wrong. But that's, yeah. All right. So I don't have the answer. I mean, I do, but I don't have the picture for this. Do you know this? Is this a name that game? Yes, this is an advertisement poster for what game? Again, never seen this before in my life. It's a tough one. Just name some monkey games.
Ape Escape. It's the only monkey game I know right now.
No, it's like I said, I'm sorry, I don't have the picture. It's Donkey Kong Country.
See, I thought this was a PlayStation focused thing.
Nope,
Never mind.
not at all. We're all over the place. What about this one? Name the game.
Quake.
It is Quake. I don't have the damn picture, but yes. So if you see the little Quake logos.
It's just the logos that tells you. I don't know what's the point of everything else in this image that relates to Quake.
It's good for you. Grandma makes you Quake pie and you eat it and you become big and strong. I have been playing so much Quake 2 lately. It's been absurd. Like I got that port on PS4 or PS5. It's so good, dude. It plays so good. It's so smooth. Like, ah, man, I love it, dude. It's such a good time.
It's like System Shock been playing on PC thanks to the Ultra Ride and also doing a Brutal Doom as well. That's my
Ooh,
second most favorite first person shooter series. Number one, always Half-Life. Every single fucking
Mm.
day. Love Half-Life.
fair.
Gotta try it on this monitor too sometime.
That would be cool if they. I wouldn't mind like a. Well, I guess that could be bad. I wouldn't mind like a full HD remake of the original Half-Life. That'd be pretty neat.
Well, we got Black Mesa.
Yeah, which is pretty much that. That was running the Half-Life 2 engine, right? Basically.
Yeah, it's running on the Source and was all done by fans. Took them a long time to make it, but then again, it was just something on people's free time that they made.
Yeah,
Zen is so much better in Black Mesa compared to OG Half-Life.
dude, I would dig that. I mean, as long as they don't, add a season pass to it somehow, I'll be good with
They
it.
never will. The Valve will like
Ugh.
throw heat at them and take it off their storefront if they do any extra monetization on it. That's
Name that
Tekken.
game. Oh, you got tricked.
Soul Calibur? Oh yeah, because Soul Calibur 2 had a
You got
crossover character, like whatever that guy's name is from Tekken.
Hayachi Mishima.
Yeah, the GameCube version, it had a Link, and
Mhm.
I don't know what the Xbox version had for Soul Calibur 2. Or did it even have an OG Xbox version?
Spawn. I think they got Spawn.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure they got Spawn. Spawn, Link, and Hayachi were the three, I believe. Didn't one game have a Darth Vader in them, though? I don't remember.
I
Did
wouldn't
one Soul
know.
Calibur have Darth Vader? I don't remember. All right, what's the missing word?
Is it Bandicoot?
It's cubed,
Cubed? When did
I guess.
is only in this advertisement it ever associated Cubed with Crash?
I think so, because if you look, it says special delivery. Bash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex comes to Nintendo GameCube. So I think this is the GameCube ad for it specifically.
Yeah, this was technically like the fourth Crash Bandicoot game, Wrath of Cortex, which is also like an early PS2 game. But I believe Activision really wants to forget about that game, or whoever published it back then.
Here's the last question, sir. What is the word missing from this poster? It's for the Game Boy Color, the ad. That looks like some good food, man.
It does, honestly.
You ain't getting no gravy at high school.
What game
Ain't no gravy. It's not a game. It's just a missing word. It's the ad is for the Game Boy Color itself. So it's not like a game or anything. It's just that one word at the top.
Is it more milk?
No, it's more colorful.
Colorful. Mm.
'Cause
Well,
it's
what
the,
game is it even advertising on the system itself there?
Oh, I have no idea.
I cannot tell what that is.
Gotta say
And,
that.
and why does she have molting lava as one of the things there? It's
I don't know, man. She looks like she's happy at least. She's having a good time.
She clearly was like let's say the poster woman for some makeup company back then, because good God, her eyes.
Yeah, she had the green eyes with the green shirt. She looks like Mimi from freaking Drew Carey. She had that thing going on. All right, so I'm looking at the score here, and I tallied it up, and you're the only one playing, so you win.
Oh, Joel.
Very nicely done, sir. All right, let me go back to the thing. Let me go back to the thing. How do we do? Oh, we do. How did chat do? You guys did good.
Oh yeah, did chat have a question they needed to answer? or no?
I mean, I have one. Do you guys want to do a chat question? It's the same one we've had for weeks that nobody knows. Nobody can get it right. We can do
Oh,
it.
is it the one that you brought up on the last stream I was on?
It's been like that for like weeks. Nobody's gotten it right.
Oh my god!
I figured either nobody's gonna get it right or chat don't give a fuck no more. But here it is, guys. Name that game. You get two pictures, combine the two pictures, and you name the game. And your prize is Pride. Yeah, you get Pride. It's almost Pride month. So now you'll get some for that whole month. You can go, there you go. You get Pride. Congratulations.
Yeah, and when you figure it out, to tell your mom about it too. It's how much pride you got from answering this thing that is taking like days or weeks to figure out.
That's right. You'd be number one. You know what's terrible is I bet someone in the chat probably got it right like 3 weeks ago. I'm just too stupid to have checked.
As I said
Someone's like-
earlier, the
someone's like,
professional
"Yo."
host you are.
I've gotten that question right 3 weeks in a row. Where is this guy? God dang. So we've reached that time of the show where we show off some stuff. You got some stuff you want to show off, friend?
I got a few things to show. Aside from the Silent Hill stuff you've seen back here, yes, that's a complete Shattered Memories. That's like a $300 PS2 game, but it's got the Silent Hill name on it. It's a PlayStation game too, so had to get it. Right next to it, Lone Survivor. That is my second favorite indie game ever, and is straight up just 2D indie Silent Hill game. Not played it, like absolutely do so. The game is fantastic.
Yeah, I got that on PS4.
In terms of recent stuff, I have gotten.
Oh, wait. Mario got it right. Yes! Yes. Yes.
Mario, you have gotten the pride of a lifetime.
You did
my
it.
dude.
You're the best. I don't have a cool victory noise. I have this though. You did it. Congratulations.
Could finally put that one to rest now.
Wait a minute. Do you hear that? What the fuck? Oh my god. What is going on right now? I swear to God. Holy crap! It's Radical Reggie!
Oh my god!
Yo!
Yes.
What is going on?
It's going great, Reggie. How have you been lately?
Doing good, man. He heard we were doing some pickups. He wanted to jump on.
Yeah. I caught you guys right when you were talking about Silent Hill and all that good stuff. And yeah, I love Silent Hill, and not too sure about the remake, but hey, you guys already talked about it, so yeah, we'll continue the pickups.
Did you bring a massive bin lately of like stuff in the last 2 weeks that just takes up a full bin or something? That's why you just showed up like this.
Dude, I am actually trying to sell some stuff because I actually dug into my PS1 stuff today, and I was kind of like picking stuff out that I didn't need. Found some doubles and found extra manuals in cases. I was like, what the heck is going on? And yeah, I definitely need to downsize. It's that time for the PS1 because I haven't downsized my PS1 collection in probably like 7 years. So yeah,
it is your favorite system ever, right?
It is. Yeah, 100%.
So it's hard to
Yeah.
downsize them because you go through all 300 games and you're like, I can sell these 3.
Well, I'm glad I looked through them because, like, dude, I opened up my Brave Fence and Masashi. I had 2 manuals in there. I'm like, damn, what I had 2 manuals for? One, I don't know. It's just I
Nice.
forget this stuff. So I can actually trade
Okay.
that manual to somebody who needs it, or you know how it goes. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you find whatever like doubles or extras you have you want to get rid of, let me know, Reggie. You know I'm always
Well,
available.
I got a Brave Fence and Masashi. Well, if you're looking for that one, but
I am looking for it.
okay, yeah, we can talk about that after the show. Perfect, right on.
We can, yeah.
Nice.
So, shall we do pickups now
Yeah,
then?
Go for it. Yeah.
All right. So, 2 weeks ago was Motor City Comic Con in the Metro Detroit area. I went
Mhm.
there, and some 2 celebrities I met was Steve Downies and Jen Taylor, and they are the voices of Master Chief and Cortana. that I had them sign my first print of Combat Evolved on the OG Xbox.
Wow.
That's cool, brother.
Really cool meeting them, even though it did my camera just die out. Oh my god.
It just paused for a second,
Um,
but it should pop back up.
It's not the first
Yeah,
time I've
sometimes-
had issues with this.
Sometimes
It's a
it
neat thing.
messes up when people zoom into. I've seen it like lag and get screwy. So
I'm happy my camera still works, man. I got this from Goodwill like 7 years ago, and it's still doing all right. So
that ain't bad.
yeah,
Yeah,
man. You ever heard this brand? Cisco.
Nope, never.
I've heard of Cisco.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, oh, okay.
well, I
thought
know
they were like some
Cisco.
knockoffs.
I know for Cisco for networking stuff, but not about
Correct. I
webcams.
don't know them for cameras, but I know Cisco Systems. They make all sorts of stuff. So
Oh, maybe they decided to dip their toe in the webcams, and yeah, this thing still works. All right.
The quality is nice too. Can seem
Yeah.
to pick out individual stuff on your head, so you know the quality's good.
yeah, I'm gonna be upgrading everything soon. I ordered a new PC, so once that
That's
Comes
what I need
in.
to do, man. This PC's on its last leg.
it's
so-
painful, bro. I am so cheap. I'm such a stingy human being. So spending that much money all at once is like it makes
Yeah,
me sick
yeah.
to my stomach. I'm
Even though,
like,
even though you have the money, it's like, no, I don't want to spend all this at once. Like,
exactly.
No way.
Yeah, even
Well,
I have
for-
it. It's fine. It's just I can't. Oh god, I just hate doing it.
Well, for me, with my ultra wide monitor, which I don't know if you heard, Reggie, but I got a new Samsung OLED G9 49-inch OLED ultra wide monitor, and this monitor's been
$1,200
absolutely
monitor.
sick. Yeah, it's something like that. But thanks to like remembering, it's like, oh yeah, for credit cards, like you build up points and then you can like redeem rewards, and realized I had enough to get like a $500 Amazon gift card, and already had like gift cards saved into my Amazon account. So all went towards this monitor. And after selling my previous monitors, I'm essentially getting this monitor for like 70 to 80% off. So why not? Always
just
wanted a
reminded
monitor
me.
like this.
Right on.
I bought a computer from Newegg, and they gave me $100 gift certificate, and I ended up having to return the computer. I wonder if that gift certificate still works.
If you still have the code, you probably could use it.
I think
Yeah.
I do. I think I might have to go on Newegg and buy something real quick for free. Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, Combat Evolve signed by both Steve Downey's and Jen Taylor. I didn't get any pictures with them. I literally just like went to get autographs for this because I've never cared for Halo, but I still like care enough because at least it was like Xbox's mascot series. Recent years, it's just completely disrespected with all the last like what 3 or 4 things they've done with the series. But
Yeah, they sold it to who makes them now? It's not Bungie anymore. I
no,
guess it's just Microsoft themselves.
no, since Halo 4, it's been by a studio called 343 Industries.
Mm.
The development of what was the last one? Infinite was a complete disaster. So many people, so many higher ups leaving the company during development. It was just a disaster. But also at
Yep.
the Comic-Con, the main celebrity I wanted to meet was Christina V, and she is the voice of Shantae and Risky Boots as well too. If you recognize this is the very last physical 3DS game ever made. It's the collector's edition of Pirate's Curse for the 3DS, and the camera, of course, went out. I hate.
Well, it went out at the perfect spot because it's showing that. And so the thing is,
Yeah, you can
I-
see your signature right there.
yeah, and then I guess because that came out before, but I guess Limited Run did a print of it. Okay, that's cool, but they did a collector's edition.
Yes, so there already was a print of a Pirate's Curse, but it was by a different publisher called Marvelous, if I remember. Limited Run did this as well as a standard copy of it a few months ago. In
And
fact,
it just came out. Okay.
the pre-orders for the collector's edition, well, like you probably only had like an hour and a half to get it before it went out. By the time I ordered it, I was at work and I was in the middle of a meeting, and I told my coworkers like, "Hey, just so you know, I gotta make sure I get this, so please don't mind me." This stupid.
That's cool, dude. I remember buying that game when it came out on the 3DS because I thought we were lucky just to get it on the 3DS like that. And then like we got that crazy Shantae surge and limited run hit the scene.
Yeah, ever
So-
since Pirates Curse, pretty much the series just started becoming way more mainstream, honestly.
Well, I wanted to ask you. So since you got that one, did you get the Game Boy Advance of Shantae Advance?
I did pre-order a standard copy of Shantae Risky Revolution, I think
Yeah.
it's called, and as well as the collector's edition of it too. I
Yeah,
just love Shantae so much that I wanted to get both of them.
No, that's a true fan. I was gonna buy it, and then I was like, "Oh man, I don't know, because I don't know when it's gonna come out, how long it's gonna take. I don't want." Ever since the Castlevania Anniversary Collection, it just put a bad taste in my mouth. So I have a hard time ordering from limited run. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll just wait till it comes out on PS4 or PS5 or the release
Yeah,
Switch version."
fair enough. Just for me, it's like, yeah, it is really frustrating. Like that's just the norm for all the companies like that, these limited print companies. But I have such a massive backlog of games that it'll come eventually, and I'll play it by then if I care. But this slipcover that has all 5 of the games, like for the PlayStation cases, it's also signed by her. She also wrote like Shantae right on the bottom of it. And the last thing I had her sign, Shantae related, was the 20th anniversary figure of Shantae, which you see is actually right on top of my Sony Trinitron
Nice.
back there. And on here, she even wrote Shantae and Risky Boots, which shows so she voices the protagonist and the villain.
What's her name again?
Christina V. She's mostly she is
I know her
mostly
from Blaze
known
Blue.
for, yeah, Blaze Blue. She voiced it, and she has voiced in a lot of dubs for animes as well. Any like say like the lesser known JRPG series like the Trail series. She probably has like a dub role in there. Just any of them that's not like Final Fantasy or Persona, she probably has voiced in like the English versions of a lot of JRPGs in the last 10 years, I would say. And also her most well-known role that she played in was the Ladybug superhero movie. The like one movie is called like Ladybug and Cat Noir, because like everyone that was behind me at the con, like they had like kids dressed up as that character, so that was her most well-known role for sure. That I might actually
Reggie, you got
watch
some,
one of those movies.
You got some TV noise in the background.
I'm sorry. Let me get rid of that.
From sounds like some fucking horror movie or something. It's creeping me out.
Hold on a second.
It's like dun 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 dun. I feel like I'm being stalked right now. Like fucking Michael Myers is sneaking up on me or some shit.
That was like Dead by Daylight. My bad.
Oh, that's exactly. So that's
Oh, really?
that's about right.
That's nice.
It literally sounds like a horror movie. So I'm like, I'm having trouble ignoring it. It's freaking me out.
Right. Not many game related pickups, but all like really nice stuff that I got in the last like 3 weeks. All this stuff. So over Memorial Day weekend, went up to visit family, and I did visit the one local game store that I had access to growing up to at like 80% of my life. So one of the things I got was Rune Factory 4 for the 3DS. Never played the series at all, and for the gameplay I've seen of it, it's like a RPG with Harvest Moon gameplay in it. I didn't know if I would like that in a JRPG, but it's really cheap, and like let's try it out though, see if I'll like the series or not.
Those games are fun. So
And,
like with those games, they're cutesy, and I understand why that doesn't appeal to people. But if you like games that require like a ton of time management, like I like games that are really mentally stimulating. And those games are sick because you're like, oh, what do I got to do? I got to do this. 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 Then I got to do that. Then I got to do this. Then I got to. It's just like it really keeps you like busy. So
yeah, my most favorite one like that will always be Majora's Mask. The time management in that game is perfect. Probably the biggest thing I got from the store, which the store is called Chaotic Games in Northeast Michigan, if you're ever visiting around there, is complete in box Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. I think that's how you say it. Aria of Sorrow.
Yeah, you're good.
But box is like fantastic shape overall too. Almost like if the plastic wrap was taken off of it. Glad I got this because I still had my membership at this store, even though I haven't shopped there in like a year because I moved in recent years. But I got like 10% off of that when I bought it, and even then I was saving so much money if I like went and bought that on eBay right now. It's a very expensive GBA game right now. All right. Other things I got. This is the Contra Anniversary collection, the classic version, where it has like the NES style box art casing on it. Love Contra so much, and saw this. They had it sealed in there, and for MSRP as well. Had to get it for sure. And one
I
thing I
haven't
got
Castlevania
from my
either.
oh yeah, it looks very similar to this, where it looks like an NES style box art. I might get
Yep.
that, but not for like more than $60 probably. One thing that I got from my friend while I was visiting up north is Concrete Genie.
Mm.
It's a good game.
Yeah, that's
PlayStation
a good
VR
game.
game.
Oh yeah.
So I really like the art style of it, and even if it's like a very simple like walking sim type game, like I still will like. I really dig this game because of the art style. I really like cutesy art styles like that.
Play Ghost Giant too. If you want a cutesy VR game.
Oh yeah,
Ah.
that's on my wish list too.
All right, I don't think I can full screen you anymore. I think that's what's killing your cam. So I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah, because
Sorry,
I
bro.
wasn't holding up anything there that it just cut out.
Yeah, I think it's some reason that happens sometimes when we full screen it like can't handle it. I don't know why. Just theory. Sorry about that.
I just switch this over. It changes the device setting too for some reason when it goes out. It's weird. One thing that came in the mail that I'm pretty sure that you two might have gotten recently is Sea of Stars, with a
Mhm.
physical release from I Am 8-Bit. Yeah, I Am
Nice,
8-Bit, the
nice.
ones that
I
published
didn't
it.
get that one. No.
So it came with like a slip cover sleeve that you would put over the case. It's this. That's why it's like kind of
Nice.
big over it. But I'm gonna leave it like this so it just matches with everything on the shelf. And it
Yeah,
also
I-
came with a poster too. Really
Yeah,
nice
that's what
art.
came with mine. I got the one that came with the poster because I was gonna get the IM 8-bit one. I was like, no, the cover. The cover didn't pull me, so I went with the Amazon version, the retail version.
Gotcha. One thing I got recently, I have the collector's edition of this, just the boxes elsewhere, but it's the Psycho Pass Mandatory Happiness. That I watched the first season of this anime like last year, and I loved it a lot. And when I saw that my local game shop had the collector's edition of this in stock, I just went ahead and got it.
Okay, that's a visual novel, like one of them like pick who murder games or something like that.
I believe
Or
so.
is it a
yeah.
survival one?
It is a visual novel for sure. For looking at like gameplay snippets of it, it's clearly a visual novel, but don't know if it has like unique stuff going for it compared to other ones that you could name. From the same shop that I got Mandatory Happiness, I did get the Hotline Miami 1 and 2 double pack.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Just wanted to get both games on like physical release here, and honestly one of the most iconic indie games ever since the whole scene blew up like in the early like 2010s roundabout. I do want to one day get the vinyl soundtrack set of Hotline Miami. Just that's going to be such an expensive purchase when that comes by. And if you know Hotline Miami, one of the best things about it is the music. If I remember you for like Hotline Miami 2, the game was probably like $20 when it first came out. You could buy the soundtrack separately on like Steam and all other storefronts, and it cost $20, same price as the game. So the music was that good. Let's see. And
Yeah, that got that dual pack release, but just if you guys want it, if you're curious, that those games also got individual releases through Special Reserve as well.
they did, yeah.
So I bought them all because I'm obsessed with that game. Well, that was one of those games where like I started playing it, could not stop playing it until I'd beaten both games. Just
Same. They're
nonstop
really addicting.
obsessed. Like, oh my god, I loved that game. So
Even
much
the
fun.
story is really, really cool as
Mhm.
well. Like, if you just take like the first game itself and try to piece together what the story is, it's really interesting. Honestly, it's like the movie the Boondock Saints. If you ever seen that before.
Oh, yeah.
are you ready for this, dear brother?
What do we need a rope for?
Let's see. One other thing that I got same store is the PS4 physical of Shantae 7 Sirens. Because I do have like every single physical of PS5 Shantae game. So if I see the PS4 versions for a right price, then I'll go and pick them up. Because the slip cover that has all the Shantae games. I actually have 2 of these. The first one I got from Limited Run had like a big cut going across the front of it.
Oh
I
man.
and I told them to send me another one because that is such an eyesore, and they did send me another one, and that's the one that Christina V signed for me. So now that one day when I get all the PS4 games, well, I'll have a set of both PS5 and PS4 games all in their own respective cases.
Nice, dude. I'm actually looking for the PS4 one of the first one because they finally released that. So
Yeah, they
that'll
did
complete my
release that
PS4 set.
last year, roundabout. And the last thing I got from the store, and then I got this yesterday. My brother used to have this game back then. I didn't care for it until recent years. 50 Cent Bulletproof for the PS2.
It's a fun
Mm.
game.
Yeah.
This game has gone up in value a little bit over the years. It's basically a third-person shooter where you play as the person on the cover,
G-Unit
50
and-
Cent.
Yeah.
That was during a time when my brother was really into rap culture way back in the early 2000s. Nowadays, he's completely away from that stuff. But
Can you just imagine how fucking cool it would be back in the day to have a game come out about you like that? Can you imagine if it was Reggie fucking Bulletproof? The
Oh, yeah, man.
PS2, dude. Oh my
Hat.
god.
Gold chain.
Oh,
and
I don't think my ego could handle that shit, man. I don't think I
should
can
be
handle
stated games like this where they are based on like early mid 2000 rappers, they hold their
Mhm.
value these days.
that. Oh
but
yeah.
nothing compares to like this game right here.
Mhm.
FJM, Fight
That
for
game
New
is so
York.
good, man.
This game is so much fun. My brother also had this back then, and I didn't care for it much though, because I like wanted to play Ratchet and Clank at the time. But after like finally playing the game myself, like this is the most fun fighting game I have ever played. Like aside from like the awesome like crap ton of like real life rappers that are in this game, as a fighting game, it is so much fun. Most fun
Man,
I ever had in a
Those
fighting
kill
game.
scenes in that game. I remember one of them when you're fighting on the subway. If you get thrown through the rail on the rails, oh my god, it shows this
It's
death scene of somebody
brutal.
coming at you. It's messed up.
And the what's called the blazing moves, all of
Mhm.
those are just so brutal and epic. I think one of my favorites one is like this guy like knocks him down. He starts doing like a dance on the side, and then all of a sudden he gets his like fingers out and just jabs the guy's eyes out and knocks him out. It's brutal right there. But those are the main pickups I got.
And
in the last few
nowadays we
weeks.
censor cleavage.
Yep, they do. It's
Sorry, anyway.
insulting. But what I have been playing though for the last couple weeks has been this series, Fire Emblem.
Nice,
But
dude.
I did finish Path of Radiance here recently, and I've been moving on to a Radiant Dawn and playing that for the first time and enjoying it a lot. But that's everything for pickups that I got recently.
Good stuff, man.
Nice, brother.
Thanks.
All right, Reggie, saw you.
Okay.
I got like literally no pickups. I don't know if you saw Saturday's show. I had like 45 things to show off.
Dude, I was
Nothing came in this week. Nothing arrived.
Well, it just seems like Joe's being a little responsible. Let's
I
let's
am not.
say that.
I bought tons of crap. It just didn't show up because it's a stupid holiday.
dude, like I barely just got some of the stuff like today and yesterday, so I it's pretty crazy myself. But here is the Misadventures of Flink for the Sega CD. Finally got that
So
back
nice.
into the
I thought-
collection.
I thought you were gonna say Tron Bond for a second.
No, well, the game's original title is I think it's the Misadventures of Flink, but I could be wrong. Maybe I did mix it up, but I'm pretty sure it was this one too. But this is one of Psygnosis's awesome games for the Sega CD. Also came out for the Sega Genesis, but that version was like just I think it was an import, so I don't think it came out to America.
It wasn't
Could
the
be wrong.
Genesis version that came out first, and they later made a CD version of it just to like take advantage of the hardware at the time.
Yeah, like or CD quality music or whatever like that. You know, it's a pretty
Tons
cool
of
game.
games like that.
Yeah,
It reminds me of what's that game called? Adventures of Lomax for the PS1.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's a rare one too. Whew. We also got the Amazing Spider-Man. So Sega CD.
That's cool.
Another decent one. I don't know if it's like a one that everybody's going to jump up and want to play, but you know, it's kind
It's
of
a
cool.
good one.
Is this all from Project Retro Games?
Yeah, heck yeah, dude. Those I'm not trying to go when it comes to Sega CD stuff, man. I am not trying to go back and pay those prices. He has a little logo on here too, where it says Project Retro Games because they did their own press CDs and everything. So
Right.
good to
I have a
go.
couple of their first few releases on the PS1 for like the long box cases. It was thanks
Yeah?
to you that I discovered them actually.
Right on, right on. That's good to hear, man. Shoot, heck yeah. I also got this yesterday. This is Fatal Fury, Mark of the Wolves.
Oh, dude, I want to pick that up
Neat.
so bad. Not that version. I'm gonna get the cheap ass version.
Is that actually a Neo Geo cart that's in there?
Of course
Or-
not. This is no. It's just the game and a bunch of extras. So you got a soundtrack CD, you got an art book, you get cards, a lot of cool extras and stuff like that. And Joe, if
Okay.
you're looking for that, I do have an extra one, so maybe we could trade or something.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know how Limited Run had their like blowout sale the other day? I had like to choose. I was either going to buy like all the fighting games I wanted or like this other group of games that I wanted, and I decided to go with the other games.
Mhm.
So because I was already at like
Well-
$250, I'm like, I'm not spending more than this. I'm done. Like, but I
You
got a
know-
lot
you know,
of good
funny-
shit.
The funny thing about that is that sale, like they still won't even ship your stuff all like soon after that. You have to wait like 2 weeks before you get that stuff, probably.
Really?
Even though they
Even
have it in
though the
stock.
stuff is in stock.
Yeah.
Well, what I ordered from that blowout sale was the PS4 version of the Doom Classics Ultimate Collection because I really want that shadow box of like that iconic Doom box art, and the deluxe edition of Ender Lilies. That game looks really interesting, and a standard
Yeah, that
copy of
Yeah, that cover looks
Carry
good.
On PS4.
Carry On. That's another one I want to pick up on the PS4. I have the Switch version, but rather have it on PS4.
Mhm.
All right, moving right along here. We also have the King of Fighters 98 Final Edition. So this is the last
Nice.
edition they're making of this
Neat.
game. It also has a reversible cover of the one where they're at the party and everything. A lot of people remember the party. I like this cover better, but if you the reverse cover is the original Neo Geo one where they're all at the party, like kind of like just chilling because it's the dream match. So, but very good game. Not my favorite King of the Fighters dream match. My favorite dream match is 2002. I think that's the best game ever out of the King of Fighters series. And everybody better agree with me that is watching in the comments. But next game here, and this is funny because like my buddy Gerald, he came over and we did some trades, and he always hitting me up for my shoot 'em ups that he needs or whatever like that. He'll always bring stuff he's selling at the show, but he'll want to go to my stuff that I'm not selling. I'm like, damn it, man. And then he'll talk me into it. He finally talked me into selling him Sternwind, but I finally got it back in the collection. So Sternwind EX for the Switch Collector's Edition. Sternwind
That's
Pix
from
and Love.
Pix and Love.
Yeah, the company who made the game, they're like a Draini. They're like a German company. They actually originally tried to make this game for the Jaguar, like the UK folks say it. Yeah, that kind of fell through, so they were looking at other systems support on. And the first system I know, I think it officially got on was a Dreamcast. There's a Dreamcast version out there that Video Games New York sells, but of course, most
I think
people,
they're almost sold out too. They put out a
Yeah.
thing the other day saying
Really?
like that they were like, if you want the Sternwind Dreamcast, maybe it was just the collector's edition. I don't remember, but they said they had like super low stock and it was out of print. They weren't making any more. So
yeah, either way, yeah.
if you want it, guys, get it now. It's not going to be around very long, that game. And it's a good game. It's a side-scrolling shmup. It's a good one.
It's a really good horizontal shooter. A lot of people would like it, I think. It has a lot. They put a lot of effort into it, and I see why it took so long to come out originally. But yeah, got that on the Switch. Next game is I think this game's called Ploid for Dreamcast. Also came out on Nintendo, but they ported it to the Dreamcast. So it looks like a cool little platformer, 8-bit, 8 worlds full of exploration and secrets, 3 different levels of difficulty. I'm going to put it on easy. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But it's another Dreamcast game in the collection. I love that. And Video Games New York, they're putting their signature on these games, so you get to see that. So
Is that like
really
an
cool one.
N64 logo on the front though? What the hell's the N? Is that on the bottom? Am I crazy?
No, dude, you're damn near right, dude. It does look like N64 logo right there, but it's not.
Oh, it's
But
Nape Game. That's their
Nape
logo.
Games.
Okay, they're just messing with my head.
It even is like colorful as well, so that would make it even more misleading as an N64 ripoff.
my buddy Joe had a game come out based off him. You know, it's called Hothead Joe for the NES.
I like how the shorts are different colors. for some
I had the
reason.
game. I've had this game for years. I just had it laying here, so I thought I'd show it to you guys. And there's Joe on the
Mhm.
back. You can see him, like right there, looking crazy. You know, I wish you guys could see it better. But he was cleaning up the streets of Seattle, man. This is like back, yeah.
So he's feeling.
Oh.
He's remember I was talking about how you must feel if you have 50 cent, you get a game made about you. He's probably got the
Mm-hmm.
same feeling.
He didn't even know he didn't know we were making that cover. He had posted one time when he was cleaning his house. And he had a broom, and so we took that picture. We gave him a cape. We gave it a Seattle background, and we put it on the cover of his game. And he saw it. He was like, "Damn, it was hilarious, dude!" Like, and
That is funny.
my buddy made it into a game for him. No, John Riggs made it into a game for him. So yeah. All right,
Nice,
moving
man.
right along.
It's got a few games out now, huh?
Recnum. I don't. It sounds like I don't know how to pronounce this game. So, Souls
No,
Adventure.
I made a joke about this game on Twitter when they announced it.
Really?
I went Recnum. I went
Yeah, that's
Recnum.
what you see. That's what you think. You like and stuff.
Then I
but
put damn near killed him.
it looks like some kind of a top. It looks like a top-down, side-scrolling Zelda type game. So it's definitely these games these are definitely 8-bit games. But I think they ported them to the Dreamcast because it's cheaper, because CD over cartridge or whatever, like more lucrative. So they can sell them for like a good price and not take much of a loss on it like they would a cart. So
Are those games on other platforms, like modern platforms, digitally at least?
Oh,
I mean, they're official games, so they might be as a download on the Switch or something like that. But as far as I know, I've only seen these games on NES and now the Dreamcast.
So the latter, for how you described it, like that'd be one I would look into personally.
And these are
Yeah,
the types of games that I love to buy because I love supporting small developers like this who do that.
That developed for the Dreamcast, a system supposedly long dead, but does have a massive indie scene because of the way Sega made that system.
Support.
Yeah, it's
indie
definitely
developers.
a cool system to develop for if you want. It's easy because it's got that arcade hardware in it, so you can make some good stuff on there. Now, this is a game I tested out a couple years ago. I did a video on it, and now I got a physical release from Video Games New York. And this is wait, what the hell is this title here? Overdriven. Sorry, Overdriven Evolution for the Switch.
That's
So,
another shmup.
Ever to come in.
it is another shoot 'em up. And what was funny about this game is they sent me a copy of it, like a digital copy of it years ago, and I gave them my feedback about it. The first level was difficult as hell, dude. I was like, dude, you guys got to tune the first level, man, because you got to hook people. You can't throw all the craziness at them in the beginning. You got to weed your way to you got to you weed your way to it pretty much. You can't do that because it'll throw a lot of people off. They made the adjustments. They appreciated my feedback and they fixed it. And the game is a lot better now, man. I mean, it's really, really fun game, man. I'm glad I got a physical release. But yeah, I'm just happy I was able to give them input to kind of like tweak some stuff in the game because as if they put this game out as it is, man, people are going to fall off from it. The hardcore people won't fall off from it, but they're so far in between from people, that'll make help with sales. I would say, you know what I mean. So
Shmups need more than the hardcore audience right now.
yeah,
They do.
Oh, 100%.
Like the hardcore audience for Shmups isn't going anywhere.
No,
it's
they
small.
love their shmups a lot.
Yeah, we're all obsessed. We literally, but it does need to it needs more than that. Like the genre needs like more of mass appeal. So that's why I'm like, as much as I hate to say it, like I'm glad they're doing like easier modes and alternative modes and stuff like that. Like they'll still put in the 6 setting for some crazy person if you really want to do that, but 90% of the population doesn't want that. So it's smart that they do that. Dude, have you guys tried Devil Blade, the new shmup that just came out? Holy shit, is that good? It's not.
No.
It's just digital. It just came out like this week.
It's a cool name though.
It's called Devil Blade Reboot. So it's like a reboot of an old game, but it is really good. I 100% recommend it for new players. If you have never played a shmup before, the normal mode is very fair, very I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's doable. It's not like some other games where you're like, yeah, no way in hell. So I just highly recommend it. It's called Devil Blade. It's a great game.
Okay, right on. Now we're moving into Neo Geo CD territory. Ugh. I mean, this is great if you have a Poly Mega for a lot of these games, but this is the Art of Fighting for
Cool.
Neo Geo CD, Project Retro Games, of course.
Got Steven Seagal on the front.
Yeah, Robert Garcia is definitely based off Steven Seagal, 100%, dude. I was like, even when I was a kid, I realized that. I was like, dude, because the ponytail is just, come on, man. Nobody's walking around a ponytail like that, even in the 90s like that. But anyways, next one, the King of Fighters 98 for Neo Geo CD. Now, fighting games on the Neo Geo CD, just had some really, depending on what it was, especially something like King of the Fighters, have some bad load times because it switch between characters, whatever like that. It's got to load it in, and it's a two-speed disc player, so it's like pretty slow.
That's slow.
But if you play these games on the Poly Mega, they load them up immediately because it has like a Neo Geo BIOS in there. I forgot what exactly.
Just
what
copies
was.
the game. Yeah,
I think it does it off the disc too. You can copy the game to a hard drive, but because it's hybrid emulation, so you can play it off the disc and everything. So I believe you can do it off the disc as well. Now, this next game, I think it'll impress you guys, man. This is a game that people have been wanting to play for years. Now, thanks to fans, you don't have to learn Japanese to play this game. It's a Samurai Showdown Tales of Bushido, the Samurai Showdown RPG, pretty much.
That's English. Awesome, dude.
Neat.
Yes, in English finally. So if you love the Samurai Showdown lore, now you can get more into it. I pretty much have all the Samurai Showdown games that matter in my collection. And they got some good stories to it, man. There's a lot of history behind the characters, so it's really cool. But happy that this finally got a release by the translation community, and Project Retro Games made it into a physical for us. So thank you to them. Now, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knows this game, but I'm having trouble remembering it right now because it's like I have the Japanese version of it, but it's called damn, what is this game called, man? I forgot. It's called. I have the games. But the name just slipped me. It's weird.
Oh, it's one of those puzzle games.
It's called Pop something or no.
It's not Puyo Pop related, is it?
No, it's not Puyo. No, it's not. It's not related to that one, but it's like that type of game.
Dude, there's so many of those games on the Saturn like that. Those little puzzle games.
I can't remember. It's 3 of them. I didn't know of officially.
Muru Kururu something.
I totally forgot the name, dude. I dropped the ball.
We need Dan from JRPG Life in here. He'd be like, he would know.
I know, right?
I have no idea.
I don't feel like remembering. Should have been in English, but anyways, this next one is
Black Mamba says go smile. Is that her thing?
Go smile.
I don't know.
And my last one is a game. Well, this is a cool collection from Project Retro Games. This is Metal Slug's 25th anniversary combo pack for Neo Geo CD. So this comes with Metal Slug Part 1 and 2. And you see the back there and everything like that. Got the Project Retro Games logo there, you can see. So yeah.
Yes,
we'll kind of see. So yeah. Some cool stuff. And maybe I'll throw a pickups video again together this weekend. We'll see.
Hell yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I got one more.
Bonus
game. Yeah, dude. All right, I'll let you guys guess this game, man. You can tell by seeing this thing.
Disc Jam. Windjammers.
That's right. No.
Oh,
Windjammers. I haven't heard of that.
I got the Switch version. So the Switch version comes with Part 1 and 2. And those shock boxes you saw.
Oh, that's sick, brother.
Yeah,
it's a thick box.
Yeah, dude, you can actually club somebody with this. Like, shut up,
dude. That
Windjammers,
one of the absolute best competitive games.
Yeah.
Ever. If you have people over your house and you're like, I don't know what to do. What do you guys feel like playing? Play Windjammers. Get a rotation going. It is so intense. It's basically just like Frisbee. But like, think of it like almost like Pong, but like way crazier. You can do all sorts of crazy attacks and fire at all different angles. It's like almost like, or kind of like air hockey. Kind of reminds me of like air hockey in a way too. If you think of it like that.
Yeah, exactly. Or like you said earlier, Pong, you just a more like a extensive version of it, because like you super moves and the environment, the way the game looks, it's awesome. So yeah, Windjammers, made by Data East, ported to the Neo Geo arcade and AES, and then now ported to modern consoles. So yeah.
Data East sounds very familiar. What else did they make?
Oh my
They made the
God.
RoboCop games. They
Burger
made
Time, baby. Pretty sure.
Burger Time is another one of those. There's
They have a lot of games, dude.
they made
A lot
that
of
game
content.
on the Dragon Ninja game. Bad Dudes.
I was gonna say Bad Dudes. I'm pretty sure they made Bad Dudes. Yeah.
Are you bad enough to rescue the president and have a cheeseburger afterwards? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, one thing I forgot to show that I got from my same store, and this was like $10, and it is definitely a lot more affordable than the North American version. The WarioWare Twisted cart. This is the Japanese version that you see is like this teal color right here. Still has the gyro sensor in it. So I can finally at least play this game officially, because emulation is like a no-go for this game at all. And one day I'll own a complete in box North American copy, but that won't be anytime soon. Been playing it on this modded Game Boy Advance that I made myself. That does have a really nice screen mod here. It is super bright.
So I got one pickup. You remember
right.
last week I showed you I got Worse Than Death?
You got
and it was broken. See that? See, it's all fucking broken right here. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got a new one.
Right on, dude. Yeah.
So they replaced it. So
Dude,
now I have
you
a-
can actually
I have a
frame that
broken
one. Get a VGA graded.
The broken one or the new one?
The broken one, actually. Just to relax.
Right.
Oh,
Whatever.
Was it Limited Run that published that?
It is
Yeah.
limited run. I got it for $12.99 free shipping, which I thought
It's
was
probably
a really
still
good
on
deal.
sale.
It is. It's on eBay if you guys want to pick up a copy. But what they don't mention, it is hole punched, bastards.
Well, that's cool
So,
because the whole
that's
punch
the
version
world,
means it's a one of those
Show
what do they
something.
call it?
Rental
it's a
or
promotional.
employee copies, promotional.
Because I have a promotional copy of SNK. What's that game? Gal Fighters, not the one. What's it called? The Gal Fighters one that came out for the PS4. and Switch.
Heroines.
I
SNK Heroines.
got the PS4 version of that promotion. I got a whole a promotional copy of it. So yeah.
Yeah, that game's worth so expensive. Clean,
Dude, I know.
my man Clean, who's coming on next episode, actually, he sold me the Asian English copy. I'm very pleased. So
Nice, dude.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
you needed the American one?
the ESRB one is really expensive. It's like
I
a
think
couple
I had two
$100
of them. Well, I have
Ah.
one that came with the collector's edition because I got that 2 years ago at a show. Then I had the one, just the standard one that I got off eBay of all places. Like when it first came out, someone sold it to me for the regular price. Like yes,
Nice.
yes.
Yes. So right
I
now
almost got a platinum on the game.
it's a great game. The regular ESRB one's super expensive. It's a couple $100 new, and then there's the Asian English one, which is like 100 to 150 new. You can get it cheaper unopened, and then there's the Japanese one, which is dirt cheap, but I don't think it has English, which I could be wrong about. But
That's
I know
why it's cheap
maybe it
then.
does or maybe it doesn't.
Some-
But if the Japanese copy is super cheap, it's like $30.
Some jerk thought it was a good idea to make the PS4 one limited. They saw it'll sell better on Switch, so they talked the company into making the PS4 one exclusive like that, which is a horrible idea. It's like, man, you should have. That's the main one. Fighting games are for the PS4 over the Switch. People, like, come on. Even though this is a
Agreed.
silly one, I liked it. I almost got my platinum on it. I just got one more trophy to get, and I'll get a platinum. So, yeah.
So there were just a couple other things I wanted to talk about real quick.
Sure.
Before we end. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's a brand new limited print game company. They're
Great.
called Rocket Games. And if you are unaware, what this is Doug from Limited Run Games' new company that he's been talking about starting.
Subsidiary of them.
What's that?
It's a
Douglas is
subsidiary of a Limited Run.
No, so Doug was graciously separated from the company,
Mm.
either voluntarily or involuntarily.
Hmm.
I've heard stories and rumors, but I don't know why. But either way, he is no longer employed there, and like he hasn't really explained it. But either way, it doesn't matter. I don't really want to know. This isn't a freaking drama show. But he started his own company, and it's called Rocket Games, and this is their first game right here. It's called Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion HD renovation. From what I'm told, it's like a meme game. It's like a silly, goofy game where you like go through this house and like there's like different rooms you go through, and there's like spooky little jump scares and stuff like that. It looks graphically kind of shite, but it doesn't mean it's a bad game. It could be really fun and really funny and stuff. So I don't really know. But either way, I thought it'd be worth pointing out because it's a brand new company. This is their first release, so it'll be their number one. So you know how that, sometimes that can be worth a lot more than the rest. So
First impressions.
yes, or you never know. What if they release 3 games and go out of business? There might only be 3 games, so you might want to get them. I don't know. If this looks like something interesting to you, I would check them out. It's called Rocket Games. I'll probably order it just for the memes.
It to me doesn't look fun, so I'm a pass on that.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
not-
Some
Games
don't need
from
to be made
these
physical.
limited, all these games from limited companies, like with how much they can cost, like I'm only buying the quality stuff. Like
Yeah.
I swear, most of the stuff that Limited Run has published throughout their whole history has just been the Chemco RPG shovelware that
Oh,
want
man.
nothing to do with.
Those games are so bland.
Mhm. And speaking of tomorrow, I am looking to place my orders for Rogue Legacy 2, Clock Tower Rewind, I think it's called, because that's coming out tomorrow.
We talked about that, Joe.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna
and
same thing.
also Animal Well, and I think there was a fourth one I was gonna put
There's
in
a lot
there.
of good stuff on there right now. Yeah, I'm gonna get that. Everything you just said, I'm getting 10 dates too because I want the FMB game as well. Because I like.
And did you see that Limited Run has just started where if say like you have games that have different estimated launch dates or like ship dates, when you're at checkout, you can choose if you want them all to be shipped at the same time. So whenever like the last like ship date comes by, that's when they'll all ship like it's always has been. Or you can have them individually shipped, but you may be paying like $3 to $5 extra compared to like the $6 shipping.
Yeah, they.
It's like,
should've been-
how cheap are you guys with shipping?
These are the
is
people that wanted
ins-
to charge you. They wanted to charge us for boxes, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, the same
That
people
pissed
that
me off
charge us for
so-
boxes.
So bad. I remember like being so because when I first used to order for them, I'd get one game at a time, and they'd show up in a bag broken. I can't even tell you how many broken Limited Run games I've gotten. My collectible rare games from them showed up smashed to pieces,
Mhm.
and happened all the time. So I complained, and they were like, "Well, you can, buy a box." I'm like, "Fuck you! I should have to buy a box for you to ship it in a container that like shows up." I get games from Europe, and they put them in these little cardboard sleeve things, and they never show up broken. And they come from Germany, France, Saudi Arabia, Belgium, all around the world. They show up fine, but Limited Run games can't put them in one of those things. They have to
I'll show you how cheap they are, man. They're the biggest
So
company,
cheap,
and they did it. The city. Well,
Ones
I
that
don't
have
know.
been around the longest, they were the first ones that ever did this as well in like the early of like 2010. So might have been like 2014,
the
2015.
way everybody was sending for them, man, they thought they could do anything pretty much. They had big YouTubers doing like videos about them. Oh my God, Limited Run Games. They're making things happen for us, folks. And they had a lot of this free promotion. And yeah, nobody really called them out on a lot of stuff. Don't get me wrong. I like some of the stuff they do. I'm not hating on Limited Run, but
Yeah.
I was able to kind of stand back and look at like, okay, do I really want to keep buying from this company? Like, should I buy everything? What the fuck? So
Yeah, that's why it's at the point that only buying the games that are really, really good, that definitely deserve a physical release, and games that I really do care about. That's all I'm doing
100%.
with them. And most of the time, it's never going to be like collector's editions I buy. Like the only ones that I bought recently was just the Persona 3 and 4 stuff, because Persona's like my personal favorite JRPGs, modern JRPG series today. Every other collector's edition, like the Tomb Raider ones, like I love Tomb Raider, but the stuff that is coming in that edition, like it's not cool enough for me to satisfy me as a Tomb Raider fan, honestly. But it's what it is.
Who wants to play those games again? I mean, I like that they're releasing the co-op Lara Croft game called Lara Croft: The Temple of Osiris. That's cool, being released on the Switch. But like re-releasing like the Tomb Raider, the original trilogy, like those games are like, who wants to play with tank controls on Tomb Raider game these days? Like, what are you guys thinking? I would have rather saw the Tomb Raider Legends series brought back. Really?
Yeah, those tank
Wow.
controls are perfect. Like how like the level design is it's perfectly made for the tank controls. Yes, as always for tank controls, if you have never dealt with them before, it takes a little bit of time to get the feel of them. But when you fully understand how Laura moves and how all her controls are, you realize the level design is perfectly made for these controls. That's why when like the remaster that came out for the trilogy, they included like modern controls where like with an analog stick, like wherever she goes, she instantly turns around, and tried doing that for like the platforming sections where it's just like a single square block for a couple of times. That just, it felt super wrong to me. Like I couldn't do it at all. Then
You're
instantly
talking about
click back to
in the
tank
original
control.
games, right?
In the original games, yep.
Joe, what do you think about the original controls in the Tomb Raider game? Are you looking to play? Would you play those games again?
So even at the time, I was not like super in love with those games when they came out.
Mhm.
Not that that they were bad or anything, but I thought they were kind of empty.
Yeah.
I was like, there's nothing, like there's no enemies. It's like it was a little like lonely to me. So I don't know. I just was never into Tomb Raider as much as other people, but I actually am looking forward to the HD remaster collection because I kind of want to revisit them and try them again.
I
And
do
maybe with a
recommend
fresh
them.
can of
Maybe
paint.
you didn't.
You might
maybe-
play. You might not play them that long, but you know, hey, why
We'll
not?
try them. We'll try them. We'll see. I mean, I don't mind tank controls that bad, but you know, it's not like something that.
Well, just
if they,
real
let me
quick,
put it to you this way, I would much rather get Legacy of Kain collection.
right.
I would much
that'd be
rather
nice
have
for
that.
that to happen.
Where I was going to go with, like, with the Tomb Raider original trilogy for me, or the original 5 games on PS1. You know, I think I met my boiling point when I played Tomb Raider. What was the one on PS2 called again? Angel of
There
Darkness.
was Angel of Darkness. Yeah,
I
that was
actually
terrible.
I actually beat Angel of Darkness. I went all the way through it, and I enjoyed it at the time. But when I realized what I went through in that game, like how difficult it was and how crazy it was, I was so burnt out from those tank controls. I was like, never again. You know what I mean? So when the Legend series came out, that was a breath of fresh air. I love Tomb Raider Legend. I think that game was awesome. I don't think it gets enough love still, even to this day. But man, that was the kind of like a rebirth the games needed, in my opinion. But I get what you mean about the tank controls, though, man. They were made for those, specifically for those games. How you shimmy across and do all that stuff and make sure your timing.
Combat is better with the new controls, though, because you can actually easily dodge enemies with the modern controls. So if you do have like a big space that you can easily move around and you don't have to worry about falling, modern controls are good for the combat in
Real
the
quick,
original games.
Did you beat any of the original Tomb Raider games?
I beat Tomb Raider 2. I never
Yes.
played 3 back then. I got halfway through Tomb Raider 1, but I stopped because I got confused with some levels. That's also one of my biggest complaints with like the original games. While I love PS1 art style graphics these days, it's my favorite art style for 3D games because nostalgia could be that. But what I love, the original graphics in the Tomb Raider 1 games, like they did not age well to like help you learn like where you are or what's like the right thing to interact with. With the remaster though, upgraded graphics and presentation, I could clearly tell what is what, and there's something there that I have to interact with to proceed, to where I felt like I didn't need a guide to play this game at all. That's why like Tomb Raider 2, when I played it on the remaster, I beat it easily without a guide, and yet I completely forgot almost everything about it when I first played it.
That's what I was going to say next to you, because you beating Tomb Raider 2, and I feel like that's the second easiest. I think Tomb Raider 1 is probably the easiest out of the first three games. With Tomb Raider 3, it's like, man, it's hard to see what's going on. But
Yeah.
part 2, the floating islands level, dude.
I
That
hate
level,
that level. That level
that is like the
sucks.
worst level in the game because the way the graphics are, it's not. You're supposed to be able to see where you're going, but in that level, like they couldn't do the graphics properly. So like at certain angles, you can't see where you're going or what's it like. It's insane, and that was horrible for me. So,
Well, my opinion, the best thing about the original trilogy, and is definitely enhanced with this remaster, because I do believe the updated graphics presentation does add to this, but
mhm,
the atmosphere and the feel of you going through these like civilizations that has been abandoned for like millions of years, possibly, that is only inhabited by like these creatures you find in it, and the fact that there is almost like no music most of the time, you just hear like
mhm,
these echoes of like massive catacombs. Like it really feels like you are like invading like these tombs that have been abandoned for so long.
mhm.
To me, like Tomb Raider 2, the best level objectively is the one before the floating islands. The
Ice Palace? No, it's not the Ice
Not the
Palace.
Ice Palace. It's the Temple of something. It's literally the one right before the floating islands, and where
Okay.
you got baited by the dagger of Xi'an that you fall down a trap door.
Mm,
And I think the other next best levels in those games, except for the very last one, is the Maria Doria levels, where you're in the ship that's like completely capsized underwater.
mhm.
Just I haven't played the game in such a very long time, the original
But you remember
games.
those
Like
levels, though.
I've remembered them enough, but upgrade presentation, I didn't need a guide. I could tell where I was going. But
Mhm.
the music, the sound design they use for the ship levels was really intense and kind of creepy. Like you just hear like this constant like heartbeat in the background, and occasionally like stuff shifting around that's like a distance from you, because like there's other people under in the ship here with you. It just made it like a very creepy level that I never like could experience properly, but as an adult, I can finally get super immersed into these games nowadays.
Did you know what else you guys can play these games on?
Evercade.
Evercade, yeah, he wanted to talk about that.
That's
Playing
my
Tomb
last
Raider on
topic.
that, dude.
So if you think the tank controls are fun, I'm playing them with this bad boy.
So this thing is really cool, man, because being able
Dude.
to play a lot of these games on there, they have 2 cartridge slots. So you got that thing going
Oh,
as a demo.
yeah.
People come over, whatever like that. I like the Mega Man one. I'm tired of the Street Fighter design. Like, they could have picked
I'm gonna
something
get
It's
the
else.
Mega Man
overused,
one
the
too.
Street Fighter ones.
What's up?
It's really overused for Street Fighter inspired cabinets,
Yeah.
honestly.
They could have used Super Street Fighter. That would have been cool because it has a little bit
They
more
sh-
design.
They're put them all in one cab, to be honest with you, but that's a different story.
So
Selling
the
two.
cabs have different games on them. I thought they all had the same games, just different art styles.
Nope. 6 different games. So if you break it down, here are the built-in games on the left: Street Fighter 2 Champion, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Alpha 1, 2, and 3. That's what you get on the Street Fighter. And then on the Mega Man, you get Mega Man Power Battle, Mega Man 2 Power Fighters, Carrier Air Wing, Final Fight, Knights of the Round, and Strider.
It's Strider.
Yeah,
nice.
definitely the Mega Man one is the way to go. I mean, because the
I
other ones
agree.
it's all fighting games, you know.
Yeah,
so
and it's only one, and it's only one set of buttons. Now you can play these 2-player. You can plug controllers into them, and you can use them as 2 players. But I wouldn't do that. If I'm going to play any of these games 2-player, I have other ways to emulate and play these games. I'm going to use my Steam Deck or my,
Are they?
something
It's not a
else.
light up marquee, though, is it?
It is. It does light up,
Oh,
I believe.
Okay.
I believe the top lights up, and I think the sides as well. I know the top does. I don't know about the
Dude,
sides.
I'm looking at my countercades right now, and I have the battery packs hooked to some of them. So
There
I'm
you
thinking
go.
about like if I had the battery pack hooked to that. Those are cool, man.
Yeah. The
Alpha
Evercade
3
Alpha has a light up
what saved.
swappable.
The Street Fighter one, Alpha 3 saves that one, depending on what version it. Obviously, it's going to be the arcade. Well, will it be the arcade? I don't know. I'm hoping they go with the PSP version for it because that has all the characters on that one.
And then this is really intriguing too. I don't know if you saw this, but you can order these on Funstock or Amazon, and they're like $199, I think,
good.
something like that, $200, $199 or $229. Or if you want, you can get the deluxe edition, And if you get the deluxe edition, it is either $249 or $289. This is euros, so it's going to be a little bit more, but in US dollars. But what you get is you get upgraded Sanwa arcade controls, so you get the nicer buttons, and I'm assuming you get the nicer stick. And then it comes with 5 additional marquees per arcade. So if you just buy the regular one, it comes with like a couple swappable ones. But if you get the super deluxe one, you get you get one for every game that comes on it. You get all of them.
I will get that one then.
Yeah, and then
Comes with a
it
controller,
also
too?
comes with a controller as well, and you get a poster. So
And-
I
and for-
am.
That you're legit.
I'm probably getting the Mega Man one with the upgraded buttons and everything because I don't know if you've ever had Sanwa buttons. They are dope, dude. That's like all the really nice arcade sticks have those. And then there's the slots down the bottom. You can put the carts in, dude. This thing is freaking cool, man.
I would definitely. Oh my god, yeah, I like it, dude. Like I want to play the
dude.
Donut Dota on there.
at
That'd be a
this
cool
thing.
game to put on there.
Heck yeah.
And
I said this. I actually commented on Jason Metal Jesus tweeted about this thing, and like, you know how they have the little Capcom handhelds, and they came out with the Taito handhelds.
yeah,
I'm like, dude, make a Taito one with the vertical screen so I can play all the
Ooh, that'd be
shmup.
nice. Vertical
Hell yeah.
shmups.
And then
well, this
make 20 more carts with 20 more shmups, please. If you do that, if you make the little mini arcade with the vertical screen, oh my god, I would use this thing all the
These
time.
are the perfect counter case, man, because the single player experience, boom, is right in front of you. I mean, I do
dude.
like 1-ups. Some of their a 2-player 1-up or 1-up counter case is kind of like weird. If 2 people actually playing together on them, like Ninja Turtles and this other game I got. Is this,
a little snuggly.
we're big guys, man. Yeah,
a little
I mean,
snuggly.
yeah, so it's like, what the hell? Like these are the way counter case should be made. And hopefully the screen doesn't like blur when you're on the side playing it. Like it's like a good screen on it. Well, I'm pretty
Good
sure.
viewing angles.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm impressed, man. I mean, Evercade. I mean, they're putting out some good stuff. I hope. Do they have a release date for this thing?
I don't know when. I think it's coming out later this year, but the pre-orders open in June.
Well, of course, they want that money now.
Yeah, so I don't think they have them out yet, and I don't think they have any like actual
Well,
things you can test or anything. But
Because when I first saw it, I was thinking it was like one of those micro arcades. I'm like, look, what is this? Because usually I want them to have someone playing it. Like I want them to have a build of it first, and then they show someone tapping on it. Then we know what we're dealing with. But yeah, I don't even think they even have these even like in product, like actually a prototype yet. They're just kind of like just showing what they're going to make here.
it also says
It's fine.
introductory price during the pre-order period. So who knows? Maybe they'll actually be more expensive after the pre-orders go up.
Ooh.
So
Really
Ooh.
putting in that FOMO for you guys.
Maybe I think I'm on the Evercade list for review copies. We'll see if I get one of these. But
tell them see if they'll send you 2 in case you want to review it twice.
2. I know, like back to back. I say
2
back
Mega
to back.
Mans.
Yeah.
You know, just
6
'cause-
months later review.
Second opinion. Second opinion.
Yeah, they want a lot of YouTubers to kind of like promote their stuff beforehand. But those videos for me, when I do it, they don't really do well. So I'll do like a short promotion, like a tweet, maybe a YouTube short. I won't do like a dedicated video talking about like my thoughts on it. But when it comes out, because my audience like to see the stuff when it's out, like when it's ready to go, when they could buy it. That's when I do videos and stuff like this. So
Well, I think that this is a smart move by Evercade. That is
very.
cool. And the fact that it's completely compatible with all their carts and you can just go ahead and slap like a Neo Geo. Oh, dude.
well, Evercade,
That's
man. I mean,
awesome, man.
with the way companies are going now, I mean, if you're like old school or you want indie type games, I mean, Evercade is the way to go. Like they don't see they're not going to let us down. They
How
keep
long
coming out
have
with
they
something
been
cool.
around?
They came out in 2000. Ooh, wow! I think in
Oh, wow.
2019, 18,
Something. Been a few years.
something like that. I just feel like I want them to get more exclusive stuff, like games or whatever like that. Like they got Full Void physical, which was a fun one. I can't wait to see how that looks on the Evercade Alpha. But yeah, they just need to keep coming out with more games, though, like some more exclusive games, kind of like build their library, like games that won't get physical releases on modern platforms. Like get some physical releases like that, So
Well, I think this will be.
Exclusives.
I mean, that makes like the old the Namco cart with Pac-Man on it and all those like all the old arcade games. That's really appealing now to me to be able to play it on an arcade machine.
Yeah,
Like
it's very
that
yeah.
whole
For
that
sure.
whole line of the purple carts, the arcade ports of all those games. Hell yeah, dude! I am actually like really excited. So
Yeah. By the way, did you guys like the little handheld arcades? Evercades, what were they called? The XPs or something like that? No, or I
the
forgot.
old
what they were
Game
called.
Boy ones or whatever. They're
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
I couldn't speak because I've never bought anything ever
I thought-
related.
I thought they were cool, but I was kind of surprised they made those. I thought they would have went with something like this. Yeah, instead of that.
The
but-
XP is great. I don't need it. It's not like the XP is huge, you know.
No, it's just more of like that Switch feel, I guess. I still play my regular Evercade, a little portable. So
I guess if you want something truly pocketable, like if you really do want like something just to throw in your pocket, then it's
Mhm.
great. You can, grab a couple cards, take them with you. It's not a bad thing, but yeah, it's more like a novelty if anything. And I still think if you want a nice handheld, the XP is the way to go. So,
yeah, right on.
so gentlemen, we were right at the 3-hour mark, and I've learned that the show gets bad after 3 hours. So I just learned that's the limit. After 3 hours, we turn into pumpkins. It just goes downhill. Everybody starts ranting about stuff.
Easy to do.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I just want to say thanks for coming on, guys. That was a really awesome episode. I had a really lot of fun. I hope you guys did too.
Yeah,
I did. Yep.
And Reggie, thanks for coming on as always. If you guys don't know who Reggie is, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you, but go sub to Reggie. He's at 101K subs. We're trying to get him to 201K because 101 is not enough. The man can't sleep. No satisfaction. Got to raise the bar.
Like, how do you know us, but you never heard of Reggie?
They know Reggie. I'm just joking. And then D Street, you're almost to 1,000 subs, right? Close?
Yeah, I'm getting there, but I need to
Mhm.
get into a say like a
Mhm.
habit of content uploads. But as mentioned earlier, this new ultra wide should help with productivity, so that should give me more of an incentive to make content. Hopefully,
Cool, man. Well, definitely go down and sub to his YouTube channel, guys. Try to get him to 1,000, and he has a ton of content on there to watch already, even if he doesn't have any new videos. But you should definitely check him out, and he'll be making
Yeah.
some content again soon.
Mhm.
Next show is going to be next Thursday. Just remember, guys, I said there's no more Saturday shows scheduled for right now for June. That doesn't mean there'll never be a weekend show again. We probably will do one here or there, but just I don't want to pressure myself into having to do them. So they'll
Yeah.
pop up. They'll pop up. We'll do a second show occasionally, but for the most part, just plan on Thursday nights from here on out. And Figsy should be back in a few weeks. He didn't actually die or anything like that, so he should be back from his vacation. And we'll talk all about it. I'm assuming he's gonna have stickers all over him, like one of them suitcases where he's been all over the place, like that. Like the cartoons. But yeah, that was it. And hope you guys had fun. And I will see you guys next week. So have a nice night, everybody.
good night, everyone.
You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Season. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna live the dream. Gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing the song, gonna break it down. Gonna run this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready, you got one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the